Hover.com, domain names made simple. Go to gfq.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase.
You're listening to the GFQ Broadcasting Network. Check us out at gfqlive.tv.
Lunatic Radio. Lunatic Radio. Lunatic Radio. This is Lunatic Radio.
What up, everybody? Good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to Kieran McCann's Lunatic Radio, broadcasting live from New York. It's Thursday, everybody. And for you young kids, it's Thirsty Thursday. Number to call in, 646-233-4045. That's 646-233-4045. Packed show today. Ben Sparks in studio. Of course, Andrew Zarian sitting along with me.
Hey, Kieran.
We got Psycho Mark calling in a little bit later. And then we got Mark from the band God and the Devil calling in a little bit later after that. And then we have Jon from Behind the Counter coming in to sit in with us.
Busy day.
Who, by the way, gave a fantastic story the other day on this very radio program about his trip to the massage parlor.
That's a little nutty, huh? Do you... I don't get that whole thing.
It's not nutty to get a rub and tug, my friends.
No, yes it is.
No, it is not.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird.
Ben, rub and tugs?
Never done it. I have a lot of friends that do it.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
You're
They're
down
all
and
over
out.
Manhattan. Huh?
Yeah, you can, it's not a big deal.
You don't think that's a big deal to
The
go
only-
and get jerked by some by some stranger?
Well, people still, it's not as weird. Whatever. It's not that weird to me. It's fine.
Okay, you're okay with it.
I'm cool. The only thing that's weird about it is that you got to pay like a $50 tip. That's weird.
The whole tip thing.
The whole tip thing. The girl's willing to do it for some Scott All. Should be
$50, you're getting some... And you don't even... And this is my problem.
What do
Like,
you
you don't even know if they're going to be good looking.
What are you getting, a little carpal tunnel? Not a big deal. Who
I
cares?
don't know,
this shit?
man. That's a little bizarre. to me.
$50 for jerking a guy off? Are you kidding me?
I think it's disgusting.
Seems expensive, $50.
Price of gas is going up. Price of jerking off. Retarded.
$50 for a 5-minute handy.
Yeah. By the way, 2 seconds into the radio show, we're talking about jerking off already.
Yeah.
Come on, it's the morning.
Well, I started drinking already.
Yeah.
11 o'clock, I'm drinking, by the way. This is not coffee.
Apparently, Andrew had a fun night last night. So, yes, we got a lot to do on today's radio program. Right off the bat, 2 people died. So it does go in threes, I guess, right? But Andrew Breitbart is really not a famous guy, right? He's just a blogger.
A famous blogger. I mean, people know him.
Is there really a famous blogger out there? Give me one famous blogger. Ben Sparks, go.
I have no idea.
See, thank you. No one knows who Andrew Breitbart is, but he is the guy, claim to fame. He leaked the Anthony Weiner, the congressman from New York who had was jerking off on Twitter with somebody.
No, it was a dick pic.
He's a dick pic, whatever. He was jerking off with the girl, though, at some point.
Was he?
Via the web. He had to have been.
Listen, do you blame him?
No, I don't blame him, but that's what Andrew Breitbart's claim to fame is. I couldn't even tell you what his blog is.
I think, you know what, there should be some sort of guy code where you don't rat on people for that. I mean, so what? Doesn't affect his politics.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with Elliot Spitzer. I don't think they should have thrown him out of office. I don't think he should have resigned. The guy hired a very attractive escort.
Well, you're in a high-profile
They
position.
all do it. They all
job.
do it.
Yes, I know everybody does it, but the public in general, if you do that sort of thing in a high-profile job like that, they're going to look negatively.
What screwed him up was...
And they don't want to be led by a guy who's showing his penis to random co-eds via Twitter. They don't want to be represented by that guy. Would you want to be represented by that guy? Do you want...
I don't like Weiner. I don't like Weiner because he was a Democrat.
Say you had an agent.
Yeah.
Say you had an agent.
Okay.
Would you want your agent to be, sending dick pics to some co-ed?
Listen, I don't know.
And
what he's
representing
doing.
you?
Yeah, but it's not it's not like, hey, listen, represent my guy. Here's a dick pic. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing it on his own time. Like, I don't know what you guys do when you're not here.
Real sports.
John is going and getting handies from escorts, and he works for me.
But that's John. He sits in the fourth chair.
Doesn't matter.
On
Still
this radio
represent.
show.
He has a position with the company.
Right. Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a head writer,
No, he's
One of the
head of
writers.
creative
head of creative.
creative development.
All right. So he does that, but yes, he's not representing anybody. He's not in a high-profile position. Well,
Let me
I
ask
don't
you,
mean
if
to
you work-
insult the company, but
If you worked for a job, right? And the job, you went to your job and you told the job that you were getting, you told someone at work like you're going to like some Asian parlor to get a handy.
no, I'm not divulging that information.
But if you did, I mean, what do you think would happen if your boss
I think
found
that
out?
would look negatively upon me.
Sure. But I don't judge.
I would then in turn tell him to go fuck himself.
Let me ask you, Ben. You
don't
worked in
jerk
radio.
off?
You
Yes.
worked in radio. It's the same thing. I mean, if
Radio's different. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
no, well, I guess, but like if your boss, I guess if Mel found out that you're getting handies from, some parlor, what do you think his reaction would be?
You
I've heard worse.
Working for Mel Karmazin, all he cared about is if the money was coming in, we got away with murder. I say this all the time. At WNEW, I could have thrown a dead body in the closet. Nobody cared. The ratings were so big, it just didn't matter. So there was a lot worse that happened than that, Andrew, at WNEW.
I assume.
And nobody.
But
ever
it's
got
a
in real
bit,
trouble.
right? I
The
mean,
only
you
the only
still-
person that got in real trouble was Mark. I mean, we could talk to him about that. I mean, he got fired for the whole sex in the boss's office thing. So, which is
That's probably
Whose office was it?
Ken Stevens,
Oh, it's Ken.
the general manager, the vice president of WYSP, WJFK, and WNEW. The main guy, great boss.
in 3 big radio markets.
Three of the biggest, one of the most important guys in CBS radio, and Mark brought a couple in and had anal sex on his couch.
Oh.
Yeah. So Andrew Breitbart was the guy who put out the biggovernment.com blog,
Which you saw him do a keynote at Blog World.
and it was the most boring fucking thing in
Was
the
it? But
world.
what was he talking about?
Well, new media, like, I guess, like how to get your blog more viewers, I guess.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. What do you want me to turn down?
Drop down the Skype machine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's pretty much what he was. Literally, I didn't know he was a big deal. I had no idea who the hell he was. But then flash forward like a month later, he's all over the news showing Anthony Weiner's wiener to everybody.
Was that before? Did he do the Wiener thing before Blog World or after?
No, it was a month after.
It was a month after.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
So nobody knew who the hell he was before that.
Because we were complaining for like 2 weeks. Because we did this big, Blog World Live thing at the Javits Center in Manhattan. Andrew had the whole station down there. We're all doing shows. We were getting hammered for some reason. But we had a good time. And I think the people that, at the convention, they had a good time with us. We interviewed a bunch of authors and this and that. And we had a blast with people. And then the big keynote thing, which was supposed to be the creme de la creme of entertainment, was Andrew Breitbart getting interviewed by some dude who was about 43 and he looked like he was 12.
Oh, you're talking about Chris
Yeah.
Chris Perillo.
And I thought there was going to be like a cocktail hour or something. So I went to this thing with Kanal from the Andrew Zarian show. And
he
Rocky.
tried to get him to leave my show to join yours.
Right, I did. I tried that.
Isn't that ballsy? He told me all about
It's not ballsy. It was a good idea.
Oh, let's try to screw the boss over and steal somebody from the show.
So, we went and this Andrew Breitbart comes on. I'm like, who the fuck is this fat bastard? And he was completely boring and he was just telling people how to get more hits on your blog. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then apparently he's a big deal. I don't know.
He was only 43. I mean, he's young.
43 years old. He did the biggovernment.com blog, I guess. And he passed away of natural causes from his Los Angeles home.
What are natural causes at 43? I mean, what could that possibly be?
Well, I guess a heart attack.
Yeah, I guess you could
Right?
have that, yeah.
Bullet to the head.
I mean, that's the only but it's not. Nothing is natural to die at that age.
How about this? What if somebody poisoned him? Somebody that he pissed off?
Are you talking about like a sabotage?
That's
No,
not-
I mean, let's think about this.
That's
I mean,
the kind of blog he did, right? He always
Yeah.
complained about Washington and all that stuff and how things could be better.
Well, listen, if this was Russia, automatically you would think that that's what happened. Because that's what they do there.
Maybe they had enough of them. Maybe they had enough with Andrew, and they just Washington was like, we'll just make it look like natural causes, and we'll just roll up on his crib and make him go away.
That's
they
sad,
do
though,
that
huh?
with people, right? Don't they do that? It's conspiracy. No one knows for a fact, but people that invent things that shouldn't be invented, the government's like, oh, fuck that. It's going to screw our gas prices and our oil dependence on oil. We got to eliminate that guy. Like the guy a couple of years ago who invented like a car that would run off of like water, an engine that would power off the water, right? And that guy died somehow. Like he was poisoned, wasn't he? I don't know if that's true. Anybody?
I don't recall that story.
No, I don't either.
You can look it up on the web.
Okay.
Maybe I was just surfing porn. I came over that in some advertisement or something. But apparently that's a story out there somewhere, right? I don't know.
I guess it happens a lot. It's sad though. I mean, this guy, young guy, he's making a career for himself. He's successful at what he does, and he drops dead.
43 is young.
That's the way I want to go out, man. I just want to drop dead.
Just one
Especially
night,
like today.
unexpected.
Unexpected, just boom, hits you. Like I don't want to.
You're
I don't
having
want
one
to
of
know
those-
I'm dying.
You wouldn't mind if you dropped dead today?
No, I actually just want to die today. That's what I want, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm so done.
You've been
So
on a tear
done.
all morning.
All morning.
All morning.
These guys saw 9 o'clock in the morning. This is what it's like.
Literally, we've been here prepping for the show for about an hour and a half, and Andrew's done nothing but complain.
Yeah.
Just whining.
Even got mad at the cats outside that were screwing.
Yeah.
He got mad at the cats.
He wouldn't let the cats outside. In the
I'm an
alley
angry
fucking
dude. I'm
bang each other.
I'm an angry guy. Now you guys see it.
Yeah, that's why, by the way, Siegman in the chat room, I'm never going to invent the shit car, my famous invention. I'm never going to invent that because that is something that people will latch onto, and I know the government will come after me and shoot me. So I'm not going to do that. You wouldn't. If a shit car would be perfect. You just shit in the car.
You just shit in the car
drive.
and
You
it
just
works?
Keep on driving. What's easier than that? Actually, my upgrade, my shit car 2, I guess you would call it, like the Apple iPod 2,
Yeah.
would be the shit sperm car, like a combination, like a hybrid. You know what I mean?
I think they should all listen to you, honestly. You
my-
got all the answers.
I guess my advertising slogan would be everybody's got shit, everybody's got sperm. Where's the problem? No one's with me on
Awful.
this. So Andrew Breitbart died, everybody. So that's the big news today. Obviously, Snooki's pregnant, but she's saying she's not. And this guy died. We heard about this yesterday on the radio program. People are chatting, typing it in the chat room there, live on gfqlive.tv, that Davy Jones died.
Did we
And
comment on it?
No, we didn't. Because I was looking at Davy Jones, and I was like, who the fuck is Davy Jones? And I was like, I know that name from somewhere. Monkeys. But why would I know that, right, Ben Sparks?
They were huge. I mean, they became huge again. I don't know, when I was in high school. I saw them in concert. They were big, probably
you?
late 80s again.
Mm.
I'd say, yeah, I was in high school.
Nice guy, right? Cute kid.
And Mickey Dolenz, God, could he not do more press today?
Oh, my God.
I got Q104, the rock station here in New York on. He's on there. Then he's on Good Day New York. He's on the Today Show. God, he'd come out of the woodwork.
It looks like he was looking for a reason just to do some sort of
totally.
PR. Nobody's spoken his name in years.
I wonder on iTunes how many sales they've had since yesterday. It'll be like Whitney Houston all over again. People buy the songs like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Jim Morrison made more money after he died than he ever made in his career.
Yeah, Jim Morrison died young, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
that's a reason for someone to, to be able to be successful at it. But do you think people know who the Monkees are? Like kids, people don't know who Paul McCartney is. Do you think they know who the Monkees are?
I certainly know who the Monkees are.
Yeah. Well, we're all in our 30s, right? Everybody here in the 30s?
No,
Yeah.
I'm
No.
28.
Yeah. You're a typical radio person that lies about their age.
All the
Like
time.
every other radio host that
Every-
lies.
Everybody thinks I'm like 34.
I'll be 35 for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is that what they do? They all
Oh,
lie?
I used to have to lie about people's ages.
Like younger or older?
Oh, younger.
Oh, you
Two
make
guys I
everybody
worked for were 37 and 39 for years and years and years. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we got Whitney Houston dead. By the way, that was reported that she died of an accidental overdose. And we got Andrew Breitbart, who's probably not on their level, I would think. He's not as famous, so he doesn't count. He's just a regular schmo that died at...
So it wasn't natural causes for Whitney Houston?
It was. No, it wasn't. Yeah, no. It certainly wasn't.
I don't feel bad. I mean, do you feel bad when like these celebrities die? And I mean, this is sad. This guy died, 60-something years old. But when someone ODs like Whitney Houston did, like I don't feel bad.
No.
It does nothing to me, and I don't understand these people that are so connected and they just start crying and crying.
Yeah, people get wrapped up in fame. I don't know. It's like somebody that connects with them, like some sort of artist that connects with them, they become like emotional about them. I don't know. But whatever. 3 people died, so there you go. There's your trio. I don't know if that's true.
Betty White made it through another one. I mean, she's dodging it.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's sad. People die. Shit happens.
I don't know. I thought someone would die yesterday. We had Chuck Zito on the show.
Right on the
tough guy, New York tough guy
on the Chauncey Hayden show. I thought
Yeah.
you didn't want to talk about this.
No, I'll talk about that.
Go ahead.
But I'm gonna leave certain things out. I just
He's very
You just
upset.
screwed yourself by saying that.
no.
You know that.
Chuck was great. Chuck was
I
a
love
great
that.
dude.
By the way, Andrew does that constantly. He's
What?
like, I don't want to talk about this, but I can talk about some things. And then when you preface the whole situation,
I just said everything.
you just really, there's like the listener sitting home going, I know there's dirt there, and it'll probably come out at some point because they can't hold it in.
No, Chuck Zito was great.
Now, now
Cool guy.
Who's Chuck Zito for people who don't know who he is?
He was in Oz.
He was an Oz.
He's known to be
He's like
tough guy.
Tough guy. He's yeah.
But I guess it's like a New York guy. You know what I mean? Like people outside of New York really don't know who the hell Chuck Zito is.
So last night on the Chauncey Hayden radio program,
we had him on.
at Sapphires in New York. You
Yeah.
had Chuck Zito.
Chuck Zito on.
And it was a good night.
Who did he play in Oz?
You had a blast.
He was part of the mafia crew.
Yeah.
He sold drugs on Oz.
Yeah.
Big rip guy.
He said he was getting paid $2,000 a week on Oz. He made no money.
Wow, that was a great show. I miss Oz.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, that kind of opened it up for everybody, right? The Sopranos and Sex and the City. That's how.
Oz, really?
Yeah, they were the first ones. No, they weren't doing it before.
Sopranos
Oz.
wasn't before Oz?
No. Oz was way before.
Mm.
Way before.
I don't remember that.
But the guy from those the Mayhem commercials for Progressive, have you seen it? Like he's driving erratically.
Dean Winters.
Yeah, that's the guy from Oz
Yeah.
in the commercial.
He's been on Law and Order. He's been on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm. So how was it meeting the
He
famous
is, I'll
Chuck
tell you,
Zito?
he's very intimidating, but I have to tell you, I think it's all a facade,
Mhm.
and it has to be very tiring to be able to do that.
Sure you want to say that? We're broadcasting right now from New Jersey, everybody. Chuck, we're in Hoboken.
Oh,
The look I just gave Ben was utter terror. I was like, is this guy just throwing me under the bus?
Does he know where the studio is, Andrew?
No, he has no
Good.
idea, but I'm sure he could find out.
Yeah, great.
I was hoping he was a nice guy. Maybe
No, very nice guy.
a
Very, very
description
nice
of
guy.
His build or something. What he's wearing, the tattoos.
He's 59 today.
Not
Today's
that
his
he's
birthday.
putting on a facade and he's not a tough guy.
No, he is a tough guy, but I think a lot of it, he has to keep this image up, and it's very difficult. I just felt sad that he has to constantly do this because people, I'm sure, try to fight him on a regular basis because of who he is.
Yeah, it's got to be an annoying thing to be like a movie star action hero guy like Steven Seagal or something like that, or one of these new guys, Jason Statham or whatever the fuck his name is. You just go to a bar with a bro and some guy wants to fight you because you did a karate kick in a movie at some point. Like that would be annoying as all shit to have to deal with the rest of your life. I got to imagine, Chuck, if you're listening, I feel terrible for you because everywhere you go, somebody wants to pick a fight.
By the way, Spencer just told me that he auditioned for the remake of the Monkees show in 1987.
That's Spencer
Yeah,
Culver?
Spencer Coburn.
Really? That's interesting.
So this was my issue yesterday. Sapphires is great to us, and we're able to sit down and have dinner, and they pay for everything.
By the way, can I pause you before you get into the discussion? Did I not tell you that he's going to tell you the story?
No, I don't care. I'm going to say it.
All right, good.
I'm going to omit certain things.
Come
but I'm
on,
gonna say it.
get tough. Get tough, Andrew. Don't take this shit.
So we sit down, and Sapphires pays for everything, and we're really grateful of that. But there are people that kind of have latched onto this.
Last on to you.
No, to the idea of having dinner every night,
Right.
every Wednesday
It's
over
like
there.
a little party at the Chauncey Hayden show.
So what happens is people that are affiliated with the program in some way show up, and they invite people, and they invite more people, and then it becomes like 20 people sitting down having dinner, and it's like a $3,000 bill because everybody's ordering the filet and everybody's ordering the porterhouse because these people are animals.
Right, and they go, Andrew, pay for this.
And then they go, okay, well, I'll see you later.
This is what happens when you're the king of new media.
Yes, I guess so. Or an asshole.
Hey, hair guy,
And
pay
then-
for this.
But here's the thing. Like, I don't think they know. One thing is that the club pays for it, and that's great. But club is paying for the show, right? They're paying for me. They're paying for my wife. They're paying for Chauncey.
Right.
They're paying for whoever co-hosts and a guest. That's 6 people. Maybe if we want to have 8, 2 more people extra.
Right.
Not 15.
15 people showed up last night.
I'll tell you right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 people.
16. You can count. Good
16
stuff.
people.
Yes. Proud of you.
And now, like, I have to send an email out to the club, to Mike's, like, apologizing, saying, like, listen, dude, none of them were from me.
Right.
I don't know why this happens. We need to put a stop to this. But I have to tip out even more now.
So does the club see that they're with you and automatically think...
I don't know. I mean,
the club.
You know,
could,
Mike's a great guy from the club.
waitress and such people can go to them and go, you guys need to,
No, because they're not going to say anything. They don't want to. They don't want to upset us. The waiter.
They thought they were going to upset you by asking them to pay.
Yeah. No. Because when they sit at the table, we have this open account with the club.
Right.
But I feel bad. Like I don't order a fillet every time. Like maybe if we have a big guest, like I'll say, okay, you know what? It's okay. We had a big guest. We got them a lot of press. I'll order like a steak. But most of the time, I'm ordering like a cheeseburger with fries. These people are sitting there ordering a $58 porterhouse, and they're ordering 4 shrimp cocktails and wine and drinks, and one person alone, his bill is like $300.
Yeah.
And I'm baffled at the fact that people think like because they're affiliated to this, they could bring people and they could just hang out. Like one person invited somebody to have a business meeting with. They were having a business meeting with this person,
just like
on my bill, on my time.
Yeah. So somebody else that wasn't meeting with you.
No, I didn't even meet the guy. I didn't even meet him. Like I didn't shake hands. Nothing.
They're like, all right, yo, I'm going to this thing with the GFQ network at Sapphires tonight. Why don't you come down and meet me? We'll have our little business meeting there.
Yeah.
Not affiliated with GFQ or Sapphires or don't even know you.
Don't even know me.
And they're getting a nice little meal off of you.
Meal, drinks, yeah.
That's just not right, my friend. You gotta lay down. You gotta lay the smack down.
I'm steaming this morning.
You know what you just did? You just invited all your listeners. You wait to see how many people show up next week.
Yeah.
You're totally fucked.
No, like we had our listener show up.
Where is Sapphire's? Right by the 59th Street Bridge.
Yeah, right there.
Sapphires will have a line around the door, and everybody be like, "Yeah, I'm on Andrew's tab."
Yeah. Bottle of Cristal on Andrew.
Yeah, no problem. The guy.
Hey, I'm over here now.
Yeah, I met him once.
By the way, I would not have to worry about Kieran because all he would get is chicken fingers and Coors Light.
And absolutely, and I'm scared of
women. And you barely finish that.
Absolutely. Well,
he orders chicken fingers. He'll have like one chicken finger and leave the rest. He's like, I'm not hungry.
I eat like a gerbil.
He eats like a bird.
I eat like a bird.
But I mean, that's ballsy though. You know what I mean? Like that's
very ballsy. But they're taking advantage. They're clearly taking advantage.
Oh yeah.
You have to step up as. I know maybe...
I don't think they're taking advantage of me. I don't think they realize, like, it's a problem. I think there are people that are absolutely numb to what happens around them.
But at the end of the night, who's looking bad? You?
Oh, me.
You.
Me and Chauncey, pretty much.
You and Chauncey and the network, because you represent the network.
Yeah, and, you know, the COO of the company turned around to Chauncey, like, as a half-assed joke. He's like, oh, getting bigger and bigger every week. And I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Like, that's taking advantage. Like, it was a party. It was a big party there. And the bill, you know, I feel bad. Like, I don't know what to say. And I didn't realize it until, like, we're getting ready to leave. I'm like, holy shit, these people are not paying. And they left.
This stuff happens all the time, though. I have a friend that's a bartender. I mean, people will just order on other people's tabs. It happens all the time.
Right. Like, case in point, if, like, you invited me to Sapphires, right? And I'm jerking off on the stage and taking shits.
Yeah.
In the long run,
that will look bad for me.
Yeah.
And that's why you're not invited.
It's gonna look bad.
And that's why you're not invited.
And I actually probably couldn't help myself, so that's why I decided not to go, and I decline all the time.
No, it's like we had two of our viewers show up 2 weeks ago. Cool teacher and her husband came down, but they called and it was his birthday, and I said, you know what, guys, dinner's on me.
Dinner's on you. You're the big guy.
Yeah.
Dinner's on the big guy.
Dinner's on me. But they went into the club afterwards, and they spent a lot of money in the club. So it kind of makes up for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it kind of makes up.
But last night, these 15 people that are with you...
No.
Or claim to be with you...
Listen, some of them are part of it. You know what I mean? Like, there was an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Like, an extra 6 people there.
But why did you let them sit with you anyways?
They weren't sitting with me. What we had was... We had 2 tables. like that were next to each other, and there was a meeting happening at one table. And we were at the other table. So I didn't know they would be ordering dinner and drinks. Like, I thought they're having maybe one drink or whatever. Like,
So
that's fine.
They literally got a table next to your table and said, that table's paying for it.
No, because there were some of our people at that table.
See, that's-
You know what I mean? Like,
It's scumbaggy, dude.
it's fuming.
It
So
really
now
is.
I'm already aggravated with a couple of things that go on there with the way that there's too many fucking cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Cooks in the kitchen.
And I don't like to be told what I'm doing when I'm producing a show.
Right.
Like, I know what I'm doing.
Chatty
So-
Cathy's.
Yeah, like, why do you do it this way? I'm like, because there's no other fucking way of doing it, because we're in a strip club.
Right.
And this isn't the greatest of areas to be broadcasting a radio program, obviously.
It's not the mecca of broadcasting studios.
Yeah, like this isn't a soundproofed environment.
Right.
So there's certain ways that you got to rig the setup to kind of work. And there are certain people that come there and they're like, well, I don't understand why you do it this way. And then my response is, hey, how about this? Here, take my seat and you produce the show and I'll just go out and I'll have a dinner.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I
I'll have
just-
a dinner on you.
I'm
said.
locking that fucking door when we're doing a show. That door is going to be locked. Nobody comes in and nobody comes out.
Sure,
That's
sure.
it.
Say that now. Did
No,
anybody
no.
get lap dances? At least, did anybody get free lap dances?
No, absolutely not.
So they come for the food. But
yeah,
not the
yeah,
lap
but
dances.
no. I would never pay for the lap dance. Like, that's where I draw the line.
What did Chauncey say about the whole thing?
Chauncey was pissed.
Yeah.
He was really pissed. He's like, I can't believe this happened.
And it's not like you're doing a marathon radio show either. You're doing like
It's an hour.
Chauncey's it's an interview show.
Yeah.
It's an hour.
And you know what? Depending on the guest,
Mm-hmm.
he could get a lot of viewers. Like, we had Karen Gravano on last week, and that got a lot of viewers. I mean, like 100,000 viewers.
And she was
But-
nice, and everything went without a hitch.
And she was great. And you know what it was? Like, if we sat down afterwards and had a nice dinner,
Well-
the club understands it because we got a lot of publicity for the club.
Right, because you had that bro.
Yeah, like we had Chuck Zito on. That's great, but Chuck is coming in there all the time.
Right.
I don't feel
Chuck's
that
a
everybody.
regular.
Chuck's a regular, and I don't feel that everybody should be ordering the fucking filet mignon on the menu and ordering shrimp cocktails for 10. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's ordering Blue Label whiskey.
Right.
Like it depends on the guest. It depends on the show. It depends on how things went.
Well, that's an asshole move, ordering Blue Label. That's not cheap. That is not a cheap drink out at a bar anywhere.
Like, let me get scotch. Okay, what do you want? You want
Yeah.
Seagram 7? No. I'll get the Blue Label.
To be honest with you, if I was there ordering drinks, I would go, I can't order Heineken. That's just way too expensive. I don't want to.
No, and Mike knows the club knows like how I'm out of my mind with this shit. Like, so they know it pisses me off. So he doesn't say anything to me because he feels bad because he knows I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what that guy thinks.
And by the way, nobody leaves a fucking tip either to the waiter.
and in the long run, the club's gonna look, down upon you. Because they're like, holy shit, this is product we're paying for, and we're just giving it away for free.
Yeah, we're giving it away for free.
Yeah, they're doing a radio show here, but it's not like
We're getting thousands of people
It's
in
not
there.
like listeners are showing up to the door going, "Hey, thanks for letting us listen to the broadcast. Here's some money." They're
Yeah.
not doing that. They're listening, going home, and jerking off, and that's all they do.
I'm fucking fuming. I'm so mad today.
You should be mad.
That's why I'm drinking.
It's
11 o'clock in the
unfortunate
morning.
Chuck Zito was there because you could probably rip apart everybody. But Chuck,
No, Chuck was fabulous.
Chuck's fabulous.
Fabulous, huh?
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
That's our quote for the paper. Chuck's fabulous.
You don't fuck with Chuck.
The Page 6 people are going to be right after the show. And I'm just going to throw you right underneath the bus. That's what I'm doing. Just to aggravate you some more. I'm a good friend. I don't know. Look at you. He's so mad. He's so mad. He's so ready to fire me right now.
I'm done.
Yeah, you've acted like a complete lunatic for the hour and a half
No, because
before
I get really angry when it's one thing to take advantage of me because I could just tell you to fuck off. But like when you're taking advantage of like a partner of mine, like a business deal of mine,
Right.
and then it looks bad on me, that really bothers me.
That's right. There's another thing, another element to the story that I guess I can't get into. But yes, there's another huge element to the story. That's a monstrous element to the story.
And by the way, like I'm not making a bit for the radio. Like
No,
this
is not a bit.
Yeah, because if I made a bit, I would. It's not a bit. Someone's like, "Hey,
You'd
are
probably
you,
incorporate the wacky horn. At some point.
something. No, like a megaphone or
But
something.
we're not doing that.
No,
This
it's
is serious.
It's aggravating when.
Completely aggravating.
Oh, there's a whole separate element to this that I can't. Like people showed up and they were assholes. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say it. I don't care.
Say it.
Steve Grillo was there. Nice dude. Nice dude, okay?
Steve, who's
Steve Grillo from the Howard Stern show.
Okay, Steve was there. Steve, you were there.
And by the way, I invited Steve to have dinner with us.
Okay.
So I told Steve, I'm like, hey, Steve, come have dinner. Sit down. We'll talk. Because they're looking to do something with web broadcasting.
Right.
And somebody showed up that knows Steve. Whack Packer from the Howard Stern show.
Some whack packer.
Whack Packer.
Now, who is it? Crackhead Bob?
Ivy Supersonic.
Ivy Supersonic.
Yeah. So she shows up, and she's coming.
You know it's kind of bad when you're low in the totem pole for the whack packer.
Yeah.
'Cause I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, I don't even know that one.
Yeah. All right.
She showed up.
All right.
And, okay, that's fine. You know, you invited, like, it's fine. So she's coming into the studio while we're doing the show. My wife, which is the co-owner of the company and the COO of this company, opens the door and goes outside. It's like, listen, hi, I'm Jessica. We're recording right now.
Right.
Are you here for the show? What are you here for? And she's like, I'm Grillo's friend. And he goes, okay, well, we're recording the show.
I'm surprised you didn't say I'm here for the free dinner.
I'm here for the free dinner, yeah.
Yeah, I believe the hair guy's paying for it.
So she goes, my wife's like, hey, listen, we're recording. We should be done in about 30 minutes. Why don't you go grab a seat at the bar, have a drink on us? And she goes, but he told me to come. And she's like, yeah, but Steve is in no way affiliated with the show. I don't know what happened. He goes, what's your name so I could tell him you're here? He goes, he'll know who I am. He goes, okay, I'll just tell him that he'll know who you are, and I'll come. He goes, and she was such a cunt. Like such a twat of a person. And she goes, she's like, whatever, fine. I guess I wasted my time here. And the guy that she was with was like, Ivy, what's wrong with you?
So she was rude, and she just shouldn't have been there.
And we offered her a fucking drink.
And you offered her a drink. And
guess what? She went to the bar and had the fucking drink.
There you go. Fucking people.
What are you doing for dinner tonight, Andrew?
And I was thinking, I'm like, what? Like, you're showing up to my fucking house, and you're acting like an asshole because
It's like knocking on your
I'm
front
not
door.
home.
It's
Yeah.
like knocking on your front door, total stranger. Can you make me dinner?
Yeah. Like, no, knocking on my door, and it's like, hey, you don't know me. Can I come in and hang out? And you're like, no, I'm sorry. We're having dinner right now. I could talk to you afterwards. And they're like, fuck you. I mean, just the mentality there.
Yeah. Leechers. They're leeches.
The
Leeches, right?
fucking mentality.
What's
So
leechers?
I mean, Steve knew like something had happened.
Right.
So he's like, oh, I'm so
So did
sorry.
that girl get dinner off of you too?
No, fuck no.
All right.
I was about to get the security to throw her out. I was so fucking fuming. So mad. So mad.
Siegman, check it in. That girl wasted her time getting born.
Yeah. Waste of fucking life. These people.
So that sums up her.
Stern rejects.
That will be on her tombstone, maybe.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'd never heard of her.
I've never heard of that, bro.
She's famous for making fucking hats.
Yeah.
That Pam wore once. And she sued Rupert Murdoch for some character, some squirrel.
Know who my favorite whack pack person was? Hank, the drunken dwarf.
I miss Hank.
Hank was hilarious. Go have sex with your mother.
So what are you gonna do now?
Like if High Pitch Eric walked in, I was just gonna take the fucking gun and just go ape shit on the entire fucking place. That's what I was
I
hoping.
don't know. Honestly, you're paying for dinner for the whack pack. It's kind of weird.
By the way, Grillo, great guy,
Nice guy.
very nice guy, very very nice guy.
So what are the new rules now? So you now have
The
to
new fucking rule is that
no-
if you are not a part of the broadcast,
not-
you do not have dinner on my fucking tab.
and that's all the
That's it.
That's the big rule.
Yeah, like, God, I wish I could go into more shit, but I can't. Because I feel bad for other people. But if you're
Come
not
on, you're-
part of
you're-
it,
You're almost falling down the hill. Might as well just go to the bar.
if you're not part of it, that unless you're invited by me or by Chauncey,
right.
I don't think you should be sitting there and having dinner. Like we had do you remember that show Russian Dolls? It was like the housewives of like Brighton Beach.
No, I've never.
It was
seen
on Lifetime for a little bit. These
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was on
Lifetime.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, if you're playing at home, Andrew watches One Tree Hill, Bravo.
I don't
and
watch
Lifetime.
the show. They came on.
All right.
because they were on Steppin' Out. They were on the cover of Steppin' Out.
Every time Andrew mentions a homosexual or sort of gay TV program, you take a shot. That's a new game on the show. All right, go ahead.
I've been drinking since 10:48 this morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is not coffee.
We're going places.
Yeah. But we had them in like a year ago, and they showed up with 20 people, and
20
they
folks.
sat down, had dinner. They didn't know if it was on us.
Right.
Left no tip and just bailed.
They didn't pay either?
They didn't pay anything. They went in the strip club. They partied in the strip club. They got a limo there. They got a limo back. They didn't pay. Okay, you know what? Maybe Chauncey, and I'm saying maybe Chauncey told them, hey, you know, it's on us. Leave a fucking tip. Leave the tip for the waiter. 20 of them. No tip, nothing. And by the way, this is the guy that owns Rasputin's. Famous nightclub.
I have a feeling at some point you're going to get a $500,000 bill from that place.
No, I know what our bill was last year. You know what our bill was last year?
Yeah.
$58,000.
Are you shitting
Swear
me?
to God. Swear to God. 2011, we racked up $58,000 in that place.
Oh, from the year.
Yeah, for the year.
Holy shit.
That's still a lot of money.
Still a lot of money.
Still a lot of money. It's like,
But that to me means people are going
That's
and
an
getting lapped
Escalade.
in. No, because they used to get lapped. Well, not all of it is mine, because remember Chauncey was doing that show with those other guys for a while, and they would go and get lap dances,
Right.
and they would rack up the lap dance on the thing.
It seems like, and this is no offense to Chauncey Hayden, it seems like the last thing that on everybody's mind is Chauncey's show.
No. Everything else is priority. There
Yeah.
were people, by the way, we got a caller, but there were people that would go there, be part of the show, like be like a bullshit producer of the show that I had to fire. When I came and I cleaned the place out, he would order lobster to go and get it to go and take it home. Like he would have dinner.
So people are walking in and going, this is on the hair guy. I'll see you later.
Yeah, like, and then when I went there, I made it stop, and that's what people didn't like about me, that I cut the party from the place. But people would show up, have a lobster main course, take one. He's like, hey, by the way, can I get another one of these to go? Because I want to have one at 1 o'clock in the morning when I sober up. and then like the guy, and then they would look at me like, oh, by the way, guys, there was like 4 of you, and the bill was like $2,000. What happened? And I'd be like, I don't know. I left. I don't know. We got to call her.
Yeah. Caller, you're on the air. What's your name? Where you from?
Hey, this is Brian again from Texas Bay Area. Anyways, I was had some thoughts about this. What you guys were talking about the subject this morning. I kind of figured what was going on here. It sounds like is a couple things. I figure it could be partly a social cultural thing where a lot of people are getting a lot of stuff for free, kind of like when they aren't working for it, kind of stuff. Yeah. And they just kind of expect the expectation they're going to go show up someplace and I'm going to get things.
Yeah, like I'm sort of a name or something like that, and I deserve everything for free because people know who I am.
Right, or even like this lady is talking about. I mean, I honestly don't even know who that person is, but you know, she shows up, acts like a complete witch, whatever kind of thing on there, and got this attitude like she's owed things because, well, somebody gave her a little bit of fame and fortune from Howard Stern show, and which is unfortunate because Howard Stern should have never done that for her because she did not obviously not deserve any sort of fame or fortune for the way she treated Jessica.
But Ben,
no,
she was a total bitch to my wife. But Ben,
Yeah,
you were in radio for many years, and you guys had events. Would this happen?
Absolutely. It happened all the time.
Like,
people think they're VIP. The people that want their VIP passes, that want the comp beer, that want to be backstage. Let me tell you something. There's not a hell of a lot of excitement going on backstage.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had it all the time. I mean, there's one guy at XM that wasn't an employee that would show up every morning because he thought he was a producer. And he would come in every morning. I'm not going to say his name. And
wait a minute. He wasn't an employee?
No, he wasn't an employee, and he also got a building ID somehow.
It's like the guy from Office Space with the red phone.
Yeah, exactly.
The stapler.
And he would come to the show every morning, and he wasn't getting paid, and he contributed some small things, but it was like we finally had to have a talk with him. Like, dude, what the hell are you doing? And the fact that he got a building ID was priceless. And then he, on his own dime, when we would travel, he'd come on the trips. He would do it on his own time. Maybe he's just wealthy, but that was a funny one. But yeah, we had people that are just unbelievable. We had another guy that would come around. He was kind of from the hood, and we caught him stealing computers one night at WNEW.
Oh my God!
And yeah, walking out with a computer. Like, dude, what are you doing? Oh, I thought it was free. Like, yeah.
Radio's ridiculous. It's
It was
just full
unbelievable.
scumbags.
We had another comedian that had a substantial drug problem that was stealing stuff too. That stuff happens.
You got to pay for
all
that
the time.
somehow. That drug problem. There.
Yeah, it was.
It's amazing that the Whack Pack is still holding on to the Whack Pack moniker thing.
I know.
You
I
might
know.
just let that go and move on, don't you think?
Does Crackhead Bob even go on the Stern Show anymore?
No, he bailed out a while ago.
Oh, he did.
He's
Yeah.
still alive?
Yeah.
He was funny.
Yeah.
He was one.
I don't know, dude. Like, I guess because I'm disconnected from like a lot of this shit. Like, I never worked in radio. Like, you kind of expect shit like this. I never worked in it, so to me, like, you're coming to my house, I'm offering you a free meal, and then you bring your cousin and your brother and everybody else.
Well, you look the part. I mean, you drive the car. People think you're just like, that guy's got fucking endless cash. He's got a network. They don't know you from a hole in the wall. You know what I mean?
Dude, I mean, it
You
doesn't
got
matter. I know a
concerns
lot
in
of people
life?
with money. Like, I'll give you an example. If I go out with one of my friends, this fucking guy's making a solid $1 a year. If I go out with him, I always go for my wallet to pay. Even if he says, like, hey, listen, let me pay. I'll still pay for my shit. I'll pay for him at times. Mm-hmm. Like,
Well, I'm saying that these whack packers, these people that are coming to the Chauncey Hayden show, just hanging out with their friends, they're like, you know what? The network's gonna get it.
so fucking.
They're fucking like satellite radio.
Speaking of Stern,
I wanted to just one last
Sure,
little
go
thing
ahead,
here,
Brian.
real
Oh, I
quick.
forgot you were still on the
I just want
phone.
to say, I want to comment about you were talking with the waiter. Definitely, no question, the waiter should have gotten some money from that person, even if they didn't get paid for the meal or anything. Because I mean, those guys, they work hard, especially if they did a good
Making
job.
like
and
$3 an
really
hour.
tried.
No, the waiter
working
got
off of tips.
like $200.
No,
We
I'm
end up-
talking about the person who sat down and got the free meal. I'm talking.
I think
about, if you
everybody
get a
should
free
leave a
meal.
tip.
At least put in something for the freaking waiter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
That's horseshit. If you don't leave,
that's
yeah.
complete douchebaggery, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, I just, and one last thing I want to say is that I occasionally go to customers' places and they will, give me food or places kind of like that, and I'll make sure that I always either discount the bill or I'll do something for it and make sure it's compensated for. Because I don't want to feel like I'm getting something for free. Because look,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone should be working hard for the money. This idea of freebies is just ridiculous, So
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Brian. Thanks for
Yeah.
the call, man.
yeah, thank you much. Okay, you have a good day. Okay,
You too.
continue listening. Thanks.
Speaking of Howard Stern, you see his seats at the Knicks last night?
Yeah,
Nice seats, Howard.
You should be
Yeah.
sitting there though.
Hook
Courtside.
a brother up. I want Knicks tickets. You can't
Those
get Knicks
were-
tickets now.
Those were my tickets. I had courtside tickets last week or
How'd
2
you
weeks
get
ago.
those?
My cousin.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. And here's another interesting thing. Van Halen played Tuesday night at the Garden. Then there was a Knicks game last night, and they're playing again tonight. So they had to break down that entire stage, put the Knicks court in, and now build it again. And by the way, if there's anyone out there that has extra Van Halen tickets for tonight, please instant message Kieran, and
Yeah, Ben
I'll
wants
be
to get
glad
to the
glad
Garden.
to accompany you to Van Halen tonight
Yeah.
at the Garden.
How much of the new album do you think they're going to be playing? Not
They
that
play like
Tattoo-
3 or 4 songs.
Really?
Tattoo's growing on me.
No,
I
come
hate
on,
it.
Ben,
I
you're
hated
insane.
it. I hated it when it first came out.
When are you listening to it? 11 o'clock at night when you had a
No,
couple glasses of
I
wine?
was listening to it yesterday.
You're
I like
insane.
it now. I didn't like it at first. I was like, this is terrible, but it's growing on me.
Come on, that song blows.
Tattoo.
But Rock played me the rest of the album. It's not
No,
bad.
there's some good songs.
It sounds like old Van
She's the
Halen.
Woman is a great song. They're playing that live.
I still can't get across the fact that they're old as shit though.
Dude, I saw them the last time they toured in like 2007 at the Garden. They were awesome.
Yeah.
But all the hits, they sound great. Roth is a clown.
Yeah, he's like a show tune guy.
Dude, he's such a wacko. Al Dukes, who works for Boomer and Carton now, the producer, he worked with David Lee Roth when he did Mornings at K-Rock. And he was telling me that David Lee Roth lives in this tiny apartment on the Lower East Side and doesn't even sleep in a bed. He sleeps on the floor. This guy they sold millions of records, one of the biggest bands.
He's a unique dude, man.
Remember he became an EMT for a while, then he was
Yeah.
doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah, he's a unique cat. That guy
Got busted in Washington Square Park for buying weed.
I can almost understand why Eddie kind of just was just like peace out.
You're
for a
David Lee
while.
Roth. Why are you buying weed in Washington Square Park? Like, you
'Cause
don't
it's
know
David
someone
Lee
that could get
Roth.
you pot? Like, I don't understand that.
No, it's David Lee Roth. He wants to do everything on his own. I actually kind of commend that. I like that. I think it's a good idea. It's good for him.
You know how many cameras are in Washington Square Park? I had a friend get arrested in there for buying weed. Don't buy weed in Washington Square Park.
Yeah. All right, you want to do a break? Come back.
Yeah.
I think Psycho Mark's going to join us. I think
John's here.
John from Behind the Counters here. So we got a lot to do on today's radio program, hopefully. So we'll get to it right after this. More Kieran McCann's Lunatic Radio right after this. Doing text messages during the break and everything. Well, really set some people afire.
Who, me?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
I'm not saying about you, but just like commenting on the show and the stuff. I'm trying to get back to people on my phone.
Listen, everybody's gone through this shit, you know?
Yeah. By the way, Kier, Andrew, Ben Sparks, and now John from behind the counter.
You got to pot them up.
Oh, there you are. Sorry, buddy. Both of you. There you go. Forgot you guys are here.
Wonderful.
Hola.
By the way, John and I were having a fantastic discussion on Facebook yesterday.
We were.
I learned what space docking was.
What was...
I thought it was seagulling. Seagulling.
Seagulling, guys, I never heard of before.
Seagulling is great.
Yeah.
That is very funny. That's when a guy jacks a load into his hand and throws it at a group of unsuspecting people.
Well, when I looked it up, I heard that there's another variation of seagulling where you wait for a couple to know that they're going to screw, and right before they pop off, you get about 10 dudes hiding out in like behind curtains or anything, and then they all just run off and pop off on them and wave their arms and circle them. And then
I would call
That's
that
a phenomenal situation.
flock of seagulls.
Flock of seagulling.
Yeah, or a flash seagulling or something like that.
But you said you knew what docking was.
I do
I
know
didn't
what
know there's a difference between docking and space docking.
No, docking is when there's an uncircumcised guy. This is very gay, by the way.
okay.
docking.
And he wraps the foreskin around the other man's hammer. Docking.
I thought that was a making a sausage.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you can call it that too, but calling it docking is very cool because it gives it that space age kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Space
Not
docking.
that I'm ever gonna do it, you know.
No, it's impossible. Space docking is completely impossible. That's like a pure myth.
Yeah, that's disgusting. And people go ahead and Google it because I'm not even gonna say what it is.
Yeah, you're not gonna say it.
Do you want to say what it is?
No.
It's a morning show. Come on, the people.
It's a
on the-
morning show.
The people on the West Coast are just waking up. You know, they need something. They're eating. They're having their eggs. This is a great thing.
Well, we could always
to listen to.
We could always
while they're having their eggs.
My favorite is still Cosby Sweater. That's my absolute favorite one.
You can explain what the Cosby sweater
All right,
is.
so Cosby Sweater is before you...
It's called Cosby sweatering.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you want to do is before you actually copulate with a female, you want to eat a great deal of Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, the really fruity cereal.
Look at Ben
and
just
then
shaking his
right
head.
before you blast off, you gag yourself and you puke all over her chest, making a beautiful Cosby sweater on her chest.
Because, Bill Cosby always wore those
Beautiful
funky,
Coogee sweaters.
Yeah, they're all, colorful and nice looking.
My absolute favorite one.
Oh, 90s rap songs with the Coogee sweater reference.
Yeah.
This reminded me of a funny story. A buddy of mine is a general manager of a bar in the West Village, and someone had complained that a couple was in the bathroom having sex. So he goes into the bathroom to break it up, and right as he comes in, the guy shoots his stuff all over my buddy, who was the manager of the bar. And he was wearing, he would always dress nice to work. He dresses nice to work. He wears like a suit. That's a good one. I don't know why that just came into my head. I guess we're going to the gutter here.
It's all depravity.
Siegman checking in. That brings a whole new meaning to the term iPhone dock, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know. Flash mob seagulling, though. That is something that should be a trend on Twitter. Flash mob seagulling. Let's get it happening. All two of you that listen to this radio program. Yeah. So, Davy Jones died. Andrew B. Bart died. Tiger Woods wants to be a Navy SEAL, but he says that was all hoax, I guess. Snooki's pregnant.
Oh, boy.
Is it official?
It's official.
Is it official? She announced it?
I don't know if she announced
She had a
it.
press conference?
She's still debating whether or not to announce it.
The comic in page 6 of the New York Post today is priceless, and they're always good. It's Snooki and a guy looking in at all the babies that have just been born, and the baby's got a cigarette and a bottle of booze, and it's in a tanning booth. Very funny. Very funny New York Post.
Yeah. I don't, do you think, I mean, there's a lot of pregnancy things going on. I believe 16 and Pregnant, the great show on MTV, it depicts the girls that are 16 and living like a trailer. They get pregnant from their 16-year-old boyfriend who's done time already. And, they have the kids and stuff. I guess they're getting a lot of flack because all these girls that have been on the show so far, the series, have been to jail or have had multiple kids or their boyfriends have been to jail. So MTV now, with the new season, is going to find girls that got pregnant in, affluent neighborhoods.
Ooh.
So they're hoping just to tell the story of the girl being pregnant and having to deal with being pregnant as
My
a teen.
favorite couple from that show is Janelle and Kiefer.
I don't know any of that.
Oh, she's nuts. She's been to jail 15 times.
I know I see little, on TMZ, I see things about, the girls that have been on the show already. Call, you're on your air. What's the name? Where you're from?
Go ahead.
What did you say? Snooki was pregnant?
Yeah, Snooki's pregnant, Psycho Mark.
Mark.
God, love of the good Lord Jesus Almighty.
What do you think of that, my friend?
I don't know. Did she get pregnant in Italy by some Italian or?
It's that Guido guy from Jersey. Gianni.
But you know, there was a lot of the MTV producers were really pissed about this because this new show they're filming in Jersey City. What are they going to do now? All she does is go out and get drunk and bang Gianni. I mean, now she can't drink. I mean, the show's going to suck.
Yeah, pregnancy.
Hey, gee, that's funny. I heard she was seagulled.
Yeah, pregnant Snooki is not going to be that entertaining. I mean, we can't really focus on JWoww for the new series, right? With the huge kids.
Boring.
Yeah. So how you doing, Psycho Mark?
Good boys. How's everything down there in your neck of the woods?
Not too bad. We're having a good show. Andrew's all pissed off. His vagina's hurting him, but for a good reason. And yeah, it's nice to chat in with you. We actually got a couple things we want to discuss and get your comments on because apparently I'm going to skip to the last one, Ben Sparks.
Okay.
Apparently, I didn't know this. But back in your radio days, you were a single man, right? And your friend Ben Sparks alluded to the fact that you might have went on one of those single cruises because you know the Carnival Cruise Line thing is in the news these days with the one being stranded out in Pirate Ocean. So you went on a single cruise. How was that experience?
Actually, I've done about 6 or 7 different cruises, including the big ships, and I've done a single cruise, a singles cruise, which is a hell of a lot of fun. And that ship was a small ship, but I've been on the big ships, and I've actually been in some seriously bad weather on a big Carnival ship.
I don't care about the weather on the cruise ship, Psycho Mark. I want to know how Psycho Mark handles himself on a single cruise.
Like a madman. How else? Like a pirate in heat. You know? Oh my God! I actually have some videotape from that cruise, and oh my God!
What's the game plan for Psycho Mark when he gets on the cruise ship? He's like, okay, I'm just gonna get a little bit loaded, then I'm gonna go mingle a little bit down at the.
Well, the first thing to do is to stash the weed. You gotta stash the weed for the cruise because obviously I wouldn't be able to cruise for more than an hour without smoking a joint. So
you need.
About you.
So smoking weed is first priority when you get on the single cruise.
Yeah, either that or make sure that Jamaica is one of the ports of call.
So did you get? I mean, after you got all, you smoke some trees, you get a couple drinks in you. What is Psycho Mark doing then? Like, is it just now you're focused on pussy for the rest of the trip?
Yeah, pretty much. You go right for the chicks from Jersey because they're the easiest. And then you stay away from them because they'll come attack you the first. It's kind of like a reverse psychology.
You called me from this cruise. Mark called me. He goes, this is like a gold mine. This is the easiest thing ever. you had such a good time.
You end up having girls fight over you on a cruise. It becomes like a mini show.
What is the clientele of broads on this single cruise? You get some...
It's a total mix. You get a bunch of cougars, and then you get a bunch of 20-somethings and 30-somethings, and then occasionally like this crazy 19-year-old that's just out of her mind. And then the 19-year-old usually goes for the 55-year-old doctor.
By the way, anonymous hot chick in the chat room put me on a cruise ship with Psycho Mark any day. Apparently, you gotta follow.
About that boat, huh?
Mark's got a fan.
Bark like a dog. Ran in a boat overboard.
So I got to imagine if I'm on a single cruise and I smoke a couple J's and have a couple beers in me, I'm going straight for the cougars because I want a sure thing. Cougars are, if they're on a single cruise, they're gonna just be giving it up.
Oh, believe me, you'll be in like fucking Flynn too. I went to hedonism too. I went on a BCN trip to hedonism when I was in right before college, and that's another crazy place, a la like a singles cruise where there's tons of cougars walking around with their husbands. And they're looking for guys just like you, Kieran.
They just want to mate. Yes.
Those trips were fun. WBCN, our old radio station in Boston way back in the day, we would do, what do we do, like a week of broadcasts down there, Mark? I didn't go with you. I went a separate year. We took a bunch of listeners. Oh, everybody signed up for the cruise. Everybody signed up for the week at Hedonism, and then a couple people won the trips. And then that was fun.
Everybody else.
It was a fun trip.
Yeah, it was complete. It was pandemonium. It was ridiculous.
So how long was this cruise, Mark, that you went on, single cruise? With the Cougars and
It was a
beard.
full week. It was off the Windjammer cruise line. I don't even think they're in business anymore. They actually went under.
The
And,
Windjammer?
Yeah, Windjammer. The Barefoot Cruises was the name of it. Windjammer Barefoot Cruises, and I believe they're out of business now. They were in Chapter 11 last time I checked. Because Tricky and I were going to go do one of those cruises, and it went under, and we ended up not going on the goddamn boat and got our money back. Thank God. But it's a lot of fun. Then the big boats are even more fun. I like the big boats too because the casinos are fabulous. I ended up every time I went on one of the big boats, I always won my entire cruise back by gambling.
What do you think of this? Where's this cruise ship that's stranded? Where is that? Is that off the coast?
Fun cool. What a Costa Cruises, huh? The crazy Italians. One thing I learned taking in cruising and cruising around the Caribbean and doing other cruises is you'd pull alongside a Costa ship and you'd see it. It'd be pulled in next to wherever you were and, Costa Maya, wherever the place.
Right.
And you'd see the people get off the ship from the Costa cruise and you say, hey, so how's the ship? What do you think? Every single person I ever asked said, don't ever take a Costa cruise. And that was 10 years ago. I mean, this is a long time ago. People were saying, don't take a Costa cruise. It's a fangul.
They've had no electricity and no bathrooms for like 2 days.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's in waters where, those boats rode up with those fucking guys with the hats on, and they got the guns. And
That's the Maldives. They were off the Maldives, which is like the middle of friggin' nowhere. You're literally between the Horn of Africa and Pirateville.
I bet you the smell of that boat, you can sniff that bastard for a long way away.
Oh, those boats get real hot when you have no ventilation inside that entire ship, and it's 95 degrees out. P.U.
Man,
Not to mention everyone having to take a pee in a shit.
It's been a bad month for the cruise industry. Really bad. One capsizes. These things are monsters. They're like the size of cities, and one capsizes, and the other one just goes stranded, and they can't figure it out.
Listen, it's a great time to go on a cruise.
I guess.
Yeah. Dirt cheap tickets.
Yeah, those single cruises are like $60 now.
You should laugh. I was just on vacationstogo.com looking up cruise.
Were you really?
I'm not kidding. I'm always on there looking for good deals, believe it or not. But you know what? I'm surprised it's never happened with a cruise ship is a terrorist hasn't destroyed one yet with a plane into the side of one because you could kill 5,000 people instantaneously.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it would be fairly easy because you're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
If you did it when one of those ships is doing a transatlantic crossing, all you need is like a Learjet. Hit at the bottom of the water line. And I know that sounds crazy. I've already thought about all this.
So wait, you're going to take a Learjet. Are you saying that they're going to take a Learjet and just crash it into the cruise?
I believe Mark wrote a blog on this.
No, you could crash it right below the water line, and it would sink that ship a la the same way that did the Italian cruise ship, except it'd be in the middle of the ocean. There wouldn't be a reef.
He's got it detailed in blueprints and everything. It's perfect.
I've been on the ship, so I was right after 9/11. I'm going, oh my God, this is a perfect opportunity. You gotta think like the bad guys. You know what I mean? When you're walking through the village in the middle of the night, you gotta think like the bad guys, or you're gonna get robbed.
The village as in Manhattan.
Right.
Okay.
The same village that people will be seagulling, which is a common occurrence in the village every single night, as a matter of fact.
I thought docking is a common occurrence in the village.
That too. Docking, seagulling, multiple seagulling and docking.
Well, docking is like shaking hands in the village.
I want to do a seagulling F-16 style. That's when you do the seagull with a fan or a hairdryer.
You know what, Mark? There you go. There's your next thing to do when you go on a single cruise. Just break out the seagulling right off the bat. Especially with that crosswind you get from the ship. That'd be awesome. You can seagull people from like 50 yards.
I'll wait about a month and a half. I won't jerk off for about a month and a half. And just absolutely have an enormous load.
Just have that Jack Daniels stench.
Cook a stew.
I'm going to dress up as the Italian captain.
Just a big Irish guy.
Seagoing. How do they say seagoing in Italian?
I don't know, Mark.
I got to look that up.
Yeah, so, all right, cruises are a thing Mark likes to do. What else do we want to talk to Mark about?
I can't believe you never took a cruise. You guys never took a cruise?
Never, man.
I go on
never wanted
cruises.
to.
I love cruises. My wife and I go on. We used to go on like 2 or 3 a year. And then I started this stupid job, and I stopped going away.
It just never sounded fun to me to pay all that money to get stuck on one place for a while.
No, but here's the thing. Like we would take a cruise from here. It's like a 7-day cruise. It would go down to like the Caribbean. And the boat has so much stuff. I mean, like you got great dining. You can pretty much do everything you want. And when you dock at shore, you go off, you go to the beach for a little bit, and you come back.
Yeah, I know, but I can go to
so
a mall.
Big. It's so big you could bang other chicks while your girlfriend's taking a nap.
Yes.
No, I understand that completely, but I can, it's really like a floating mall or casino.
No. Yeah, like a floating casino, but you have all different types of restaurants. You have stuff that you could do. You hang out at the pool.
No, I completely understand that. I just, I don't know.
I mean, we.
Why do I need water?
Yeah.
So what do you want? You want? Where do you want to go? But it's cheaper. That's why people do it. It's much cheaper than staying at like a 5-star resort. Or
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just said it doesn't interest me. I like to go to Vegas. I like to pass out on solid ground.
No. I like the beach.
Yeah.
Best cruise I went on was to Bermuda.
Mark likes going on these cruises because the girls can't really escape too far away.
No, you gotta find them.
They're trapped.
And I'll tell you what, a lot
on a boat.
of swingers
she's
go on
deck
cruises.
5.
It's a lot of swingers, Kieran, on cruises. They look for like other couples to latch onto.
I was almost caught in one of those positions one time.
That's what happened to us. We
Swingers.
had like the guy. It was like this couple across the the hall, and they were very nice. And then it got a little too nice, and we realized that they want to swing. And it was a very uncomfortable situation when they were like, "Hey, you guys want to come back to our room?" And we're like, "Ooh."
It's very uncomfortable when you have his mustache in your balls.
Yeah, that's all I could think of actually. This guy wants to rim me.
Oh, boy.
Change of pace.
That's when the horn blows on the ship.
Hey, Mark, you know what you said last week when you were on that? What were you saying? You wanted your horn to be "Excuse me, motherfucker." Was that what you were
Oh
saying?
yeah, the horn. Yeah.
You know how so many people,
Motherfucker.
so many people that listen to the show are like, Mark's gonna invent that. It's hilarious. Excuse me,
I guess-
motherfucker.
I mean, I'd love to drop the N-bomb, but that's not allowed. I mean, unless you're the president. But
What bumper sticker you have on the truck this week?
just the same old stuff. What is it? Obamacare. Call us when you're shovel ready.
I want to thank him for coming into my neighborhood this afternoon. It's going to be great.
Oh,
He's in New Hampshire right
It's going to be in
now.
Union Square.
Oh,
this
Manhattan's
afternoon.
done.
Oh,
Shut
dude.
down.
I walked through there the other day, and I was wondering, I'd never seen so many cops. And I guess they must have been getting ready for this, but it will be a shit show. He's going to ABC Kitchen on 18th Street. Yikes.
Yeah, Ben, what did you walk by and he asked the cop what was going on? He said, yeah, somebody got seagulled.
You want to?
I was laughing so hard when you said fucking seagull. That's my new favorite fucking thing.
John from behind the counter, do you want to explain to Psycho Mark what space docking is?
Sure.
I heard the explanation.
Oh, you did. You did.
You did no.
We didn't say it on air yet.
You didn't say it on air yet.
We talked about
Well, it
docking.
was something that was what? You rubbed the condom.
No.
No, you won't. You won't guess what this is. I had to look it up, and I was thoroughly disgusted. And I'm a scumbag. I don't mind
ahead.
really nasty stuff, but throw it out there,
Why not?
John. Why not? It's a morning show.
Space docking is when you attempt to take a shit in a girl's pussy.
He's the only one that likes
Which is impossible.
We're bleeping that. We're gonna bleep that entire explanation.
It'd be perfect anyway because he laughed his ass off on the phone, and everybody else was like, "Oh man,
Terrible.
yeah, isn't that awful?"
It's disgusting.
Somebody thought of that.
I want to meet the chick that says yes.
Yes. Good idea.
I guarantee in this day and
I
age, it
just want
probably
to
is.
interview her.
Before dinner.
Ever since I've seen Two Girls, One Cup, I
never saw it. Never
Wouldn't
again.
shock me if space docking is going on somewhere at somebody's house on like a Monday night. It's like the thing they do.
I never saw Two Girls, One Cup.
I can't even
No,
watch it.
no.
It's awful.
No, it's a bad idea.
Like I've seen the
When you're
reaction
space
videos.
docking- When you're space docking with, you got to do the sketchy Hal voice,
Yeah, you got to howl like a dog taking a dump in the woods.
No, you got the HAL 2001 voice.
Hal.
You got to do that voice.
He's never seen it. Kieran's never seen it.
Whatever.
Oh, I don't remember.
Open
I'm
the
sorry.
You don't remember? Oh God!
the
No, I did.
Kieran doesn't watch anything that involves science.
I can't do that.
Or not chicken fingers.
Dude, you brought up a reference from a movie I saw when I was 6. How am I supposed to get that right off the bat?
What's
I
that?
got a
It
56K
was
modem of a
horrifying
brain.
movie to see at 6, for that matter. I'm surprised it wasn't stained in your head.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Sure it was, but I can't regurgitate a line from it right off the bat. So, Mark, what else is going on in your world, my friend?
Nothing. I'm still amazed that Snooki got pregnant, although you would never know she was pregnant.
What do you think about the school shooting in Cleveland?
I don't know. The kid was fucked up. What are you going to do? I mean, you just put a fucking gun in the principal's office and blast the little motherfucker's brains out. Then they got all pissed. Did you see that? The kid that put the assault rifle up on his Facebook account? And he got arrested. I guess he was in the next town over, and he put up an assault rifle on his Facebook account being like, this is how we fucking take care of shit. Which is absolutely right. They should have had a fucking assault rifle in a case, in glass, just to, in case of emergency, break glass, and there's an AR-15, and just fucking drop the motherfucker. It's ridiculous.
What I don't understand is that, we've gotten stricter with gun control laws, and still, it's all bullshit. Like, there's no, these kids have a gun in their hand. I mean, how does that happen?
Yeah, Mark,
it's all
explain
bullshit, all these gun control laws.
Do criminals care about laws?
No, exactly. They don't.
So what good does it fucking do, right? Nothing. I don't know. I get in arguments all the time with moonbats and liberals that live in my neighborhood.
Wait,
they're
hold
all
on,
like, "Ooh, we
hold
don't
on.
want guns because they're unsafe." And it's like, what are you going to
What?
call him, 911 when your head's getting beaten in? No, I'm going to fucking put a 45 in his face and blow his brains out like Saddam or what's his name, Gaddafi. He's getting a Gaddafi.
What's a moonbat?
A moonbat? A moonbat is an ultra-liberal person. It's just so completely fucking out of it.
What's the
their heads on
etymology
the
of
moon.
that?
Yeah.
Never heard of a moonbat?
I've never heard of that.
Where's that come from? Where's the etymology? I've never heard that before.
Gotta be a Boston thing.
Moonbat.
It is. It's Howie Carr, who's a talk show host up here in Boston, says it all the time, and it's sort of just become a stuck thing when you see a nitwit. Actually, I saw a guy the other day. He was driving by with a Kerry Edwards sticker. So I pulled up next to him and I said, "Hey, excuse me." I said, "You might want to get a scraper." He said, "Huh?" I said, "You might want a scraper for that bumper sticker they lost like 10 years ago, you nitwit." Not to mention, Edwards is a complete dirtbag for having a love child on his cancer-stricken wife.
This is completely true. Mark does do stuff like this. I'm telling you.
But I mean, I didn't even put the fucking Palin fucking sticker on the back of my truck. I just kind of hung it on the window, and it was gone the next fucking day that the bonehead won.
He just gets so bent out of shape about the littlest shit.
I do. I get excited. I apologize for that too. Someone was mentioning that to me last week. Why do you get so excited? And I just get passionate. I don't know what it is. There must be some Italian in my blood.
You're a gem, though, Psycho Mark. We all love you.
Mark,
Oh, please.
speaking of crazy wackos with guns, what I saw in walking on New York the other day was Bernie Getz. I saw him walking on 14th Street.
I'd like to go tell him to go fuck himself again.
He's a mental
Set him
case.
off, Hey, Bernie, what do you got? Fucking a 45? Woo! You pussy.
He's nutty, right?
Oh, he's crazy.
Mark's
He's
his only
crazy.
friend on Facebook.
Yeah, right. Me and Bernie Getz, pals forever.
It's good that you
No, we're Andy NRA and Bernie Getz.
it just made me think of another thing, Mark. Your old friend Andy.
I don't want to think about
Yeah,
that
all right.
mother effer. He's just another moon bat that's dead. Thank God.
This guy used to argue he didn't like Mark's politics, but they never met. But
Yeah.
because Mark worked at Fox News, he would email Mark on a daily basis, just bashing about politics. Mark had never even met him. One of our friends sicked him on Mark about his politics, and every day, and then he ended up getting hit by a bus and killed.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That must have been a
Well,
great...
before that, Andy had taunted about 6 Marines that just got back from the first stage of the Gulf War, and he told them they were all baby killers at the bar. And just a word to the wise: one thing you don't do to Marines that just got back from killing people, you don't call them baby killers. So they were about to literally string him up by his balls outside the bar, and a Boston cop shows up and breaks up the fight, and he literally saved Andy's life. So he tells Andy, get the fuck out of here, because everybody knew Andy. He was an anti-war protester always around. So long story short, Andy walks home, and sure enough, he gets home about 3 o'clock in the morning, and who's waiting in the bushes but 6 fucking angry Marines.
Holy shit.
The cop gave him their address. They beat the shit out of Andy and put him in traction for about 3 weeks.
Holy crap.
This guy was an idiot. He would hold up a sign saying "Bush sucks" all over Boston. People would throw their coffee at him, and then didn't he assault a state trooper or two, Mark, in front of the state house?
He was protesting in front of the state house. So of course you can't protest without a permit. So he tells the trooper to go fuck himself and pushes the state trooper, which is like now, oh my God, now you're getting cuffed and stuff, and you're getting pepper sprayed, and you're getting hard tied, you know.
Well, that was a funny one. That was another funny Mark story.
Mark, not only are you a gun lover and a Republican and a guy that likes to go on single cruises, but you like NASCAR as well, and you worked at Fox News. Man, how far right can you get?
Can I talk about the NASCAR thing?
Yeah.
Mark, what do you like about NASCAR?
You know what it is? I know that sounds crazy, but it's something that I've always liked since I was a little kid.
Told you.
Loved watching the cars go round and round, and the best was they would smash into each other at 200 miles an hour and crash and blow up. It's just awesome.
See, I told you, it's totally different. Like, I watched it. My dad used to watch it, and there were real cars at one point in NASCAR. It wasn't this plastic box.
Yeah, but you had some sort of Andrew had some sort of convoluted way that he wanted NASCAR to run. He wanted an actual Ford car, an actual Chevy car, an actual Suzuki, all racing in the race. And that wouldn't be NASCAR.
Yes, it would. That's what NASCAR was. There were actual cars. There was a Chevelle.
But they're all modified to run the same way.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Modify them.
Right.
But I want them to look like cars. The purpose of NASCAR was a lot of these guys. I mean, again, there were many reasons for NASCAR, but one of the things that the manufacturers benefited was that if Chevelle won that year, if Chevy won, guess what? Chevy was going to be the #1 selling car for that year. That's what happened. Now it doesn't matter.
Mark, your thoughts.
Yes and no. I do miss the nostalgic part of, racing on Sunday and selling on Monday, but it's over with. Unfortunately, the car is covered in stickers. You don't see the car. It's a plastic shell. It's not a real Chevy. But I don't know. What are you going to do? Unfortunately, it's outgrown itself to way. I mean, I love to go back to see the old boys that just come out of the Virginia woods with a bucket of moonshine in the back of the car doing 100 around the track. That'd be fantastic. Drunk off their ass.
I just want Death Race.
Death Race.
Death Race. Like the UFC version of racing. Yeah.
I want to see.
That'd be great.
I want to see Sylvester Stallone just as a gangster shooting the crowd after every race.
Yeah. Get some guy drunk out there, some dude with knives or a gun, drive by, something.
Amazing.
Sort of more of excitement.
I have been to several NASCAR races, and it is a boatload of fun. There's nothing but drinking the entire time. I must confess that it is very exciting actually going to the race and thrilling at the same time. Not to mention there's tons of broads that are all naked.
What about the broads racing? What about girls like Danica Patrick? What do you think of that?
It's great. God bless her. Again, if she can make it, if she can race with the big boys, then all tour. You know what I mean? I got nothing against it. I really don't care. First of all, she's hot. She always has been, so that helps. But whatever. If she can race with the guys, and some of the guys can't even race with the guys. Believe me. So, God bless her. They just fucking step in that fucking car. She's got balls. She's got balls bigger than fucking 5 guys combined. I don't know if you've ever seen her interviews or.
And she's tiny. She's a little thing.
She's tiny. She will cut your face off with her pinky fingernail. You know what I mean? That's how ballsy she is.
To be honest with you, I've never heard anybody go on and on about Danica Patrick like Mark just did.
Yeah.
They usually just say it's a broad that drives a car.
Nice.
She's hot as hell.
I don't know, dude.
You don't think she's hot?
No, she's pretty.
She's hot because she's standing next to Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I don't know about that.
She's hot because she could take that fucking race car and drive circles around your
I
ass.
don't think that's why she's hot.
That doesn't make her hot to me.
Yes, it makes it hot to me.
Oh, dude, look
I'll
at her.
tell you,
She's
that's
smoking
fucking
hot.
hot
Look
as
at her.
hell.
Yeah, but that's Danica Patrick from like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
She's
So what?
still
She's a little weathered, but whatever.
That was a bad point. But yeah, okay, she's hot. She's hot. She's definitely better looking than Dick Trickle.
She's hot,
Yes.
but what also gives her hotness is her talent. You know, if she was like, Schnooky, she's definitely not hot.
That was actually kind of impressive for Mark to say. I didn't think he would say something like that, but that was actually very nice of you to say about
Look at her.
Danica
That's her
Patrick.
now.
Yeah, she's hot, man.
I like her.
Mark's not as shallow as I thought he was.
Mark, what did you think of the race being on Monday night, having been postponed? What did you think of a Monday night Daytona?
Because I enjoy watching the race on Sunday. I usually have ribs or something planned. I like to do a barbecue for the race.
And it's a day you can booze up, do what you want.
It's the day of the Lord.
By the way,
We can all pray.
can I just say that you're saying that she's a little older now? She's only a year and a half older than me. She's 29.
Right, she's old.
She's what are you? You're making it seem like she's like a 40-year-old woman.
No, I'm not. Whatever.
She's in her prime. She has a good year left.
A good year. 6 months, I tops. 6 months tops.
She's going into Cougarville.
Yeah, she is going into Cougarville. Daytona 500, Mark's a big fan, but not on Monday nights or on Monday nights?
No, I was going to say Monday night. You know what happened? It just I would never want to see that on a Monday night, like a Monday night football. Just because traditionally racing has always been on Sunday. It's like a Sunday event. Now, if they have a race on a Saturday night, that's a different story. I like the Saturday night races, but a Monday night, that sucks balls because it's in the middle of the work week. And then the race takes too long. God forbid you hit a goddamn jet dryer with fucking the Spanish guy flying around a fucking track at 200 miles an hour. Oh, to his credit, I'm sorry. The car did break before he hit the jet dryer. I don't know if you guys.
You're
saw
talking
the
about
video of that.
Juan Pablo Montoya? Is that his name?
See,
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, what was he doing? Like 200 miles an hour, and he was like the only car on the track, I think, right?
he was catching back up to the pack during a yellow. What will happen is guys will be in the pits and whatnot, and they'll be doing shit, and the pack will have already made its way all the way around the other side of the track. Now, this is a 2-mile track, so I mean, you're way far away. So he's trying to sneak back around the track at 170 miles an hour, which is what they do. Unfortunately, something broke as he was going into the corner. He whacked the jet dryer. How no one died, I have no idea. That was a miracle from God.
And the
That
race
fucking
got
guy
suspended
died.
for like 2 hours.
2 hours,
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, cooked the track.
Yeah.
That was another thing too. If that had cooked the track and burnt the track up, which they had just put the track down, the guy that put the track down must have been losing his mind. Holy shit! Fucking put a hose on it. And that took another thing too. That thing caught on fire, and I was watching it live. I'm going, holy shit! Where's the fire department? Tick, 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 tick. Like it took like a minute and a half before they even put water on the fucking thing. I'm like, holy shit.
Mark, why don't you have your own little radio show in it somewhere? Like in your basement or something? I don't know, wherever you want to do it. How come?
Well, yeah, eventually I've got all the equipment. I'm in the process of doing so. I've got to
Because I
get
think
set up.
people would like to hear the ramblings of Mark. I'm even talking just you, maybe with pre-gaming a little bit with a little I don't know, some trees or some alcohol, and just get on there about one topic and just rant. I guarantee you, I'd be watching that thing every damn time it's on.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I wanted to start a show. It was going to be called Brookline Sucks, and that's the name of my town.
Why localize it? It's the World Wide Web.
Who gives a fuck? I'll just name it Brookline Sucks by Psycho Mark, and I'll just torture the goddamn town till they push me out.
But it's all about the ratings, Mark. Come on.
I don't care. I fucking hate Brookline. Sorry.
Mark, Kieran's a pro in ratings. We have 4 people watching.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's 4 syndications, by the way.
Well, you're gonna have minus 4 people. You're gonna have about 150 million people here in Brookline angry at you for hosting me. That's for sure.
You know
You're
what?
gonna have a town meeting about me.
One of our buddies called me the other day. He goes, it's funny. I listened to the show with Mark, and Mark gave away what he drives, where he lives.
He did do that the last time he came on, and none of us even noticed it.
Yeah, it was an
But
observation.
I also gave away that I got a license to carry. So come on.
It's
right.
Bring
That's
it
right.
on.
That's right. So you're taking your chances.
As a matter of fact, it was my girlfriend gave me this the other day from this is a story from a Minnesota state trooper, and he pulls over this lady with a concealed carry permit. She was like 95 years old. The picture of it's really funny. I got to send it down to you, Ben. But she says that he asked her if she had any guns on her. So she responded that yes, indeed, she had a .45 automatic in her glove box. And he said something in her body language or the way she said made me want to ask if she had any other firearms. And she did admit that she had a 9mm Glock in her center console. And he asked her one more time. And she said, yes, I also have another gun. I have a .38 Special in my purse. And he said to her, well, ma'am, what are you so afraid of? And she says, not a fucking thing.
A funny story was, back I was making a lot of money at the time, so I bought an apartment, and I was really excited about buying the apartment. So I bring Mark over to see the apartment. This is a long time ago, and I have an outdoor patio. First thing Mark says, he goes, you got a gun in here? I said, no. He goes, what if some coconut comes climbing over that wall and breaks into the apartment?
Well, they will, Ben. I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm not calling 911. Okay, I don't have to call 911. What are you going to do when a guy with a hatchet comes through the door? Oh, hold on, sir. Let me pick up my phone. I'm going to call the police. Hold on. You're scaring me. Hold on. Here's my phone. Let's see. Not chop, chop, chop. Ah, you're fucking dead. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. What are you going to do? You know, I mean, people are defenseless. They think, oh, the police are there to protect me. No, they're not. Fucking cop's there to pick up. He's supposed to put crime scene tape around your body, asshole.
I'm sure Mark has that sign somewhere or bumper sticker someplace that I don't dial 911.
I don't dial 911. Just like me, Chuck Norris, and who else? Arlie Ermy.
When was the last time you were down at the range, Mark? Mark goes down to the shooting range.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be down there on Sunday, down at the Braintree Rifle and Pistol Club, and again, anyone who wants to come down,
practicing for
I'll be there.
Armageddon. Yeah.
The best, Mark comes down and visits me, and he had put up Bin Laden on the shooting thing. He brings down his, what do you call those things, Mark?
Target.
It's a silhouette.
Yeah, silhouette. Yeah. He shot at Osama. Pretty funny.
I had a nice. Well, actually, you're technically in Massachusetts. You're not allowed to have an effigy of anybody and shoot at him. As a matter of fact, that Osama bin Laden silhouette is illegal in Massachusetts. Okay. In other words, you couldn't put a picture of the governor up or the president. You know what I mean? You could get arrested for that and lose your gun license.
By the way, the guy who died today, Andrew
Breitbart.
Yeah, there's a whole conspiracy now saying that Obama had him killed allegedly because he stated that he has Obama's college films, and it involved coke, Obama gay lover, and habit ones. I don't know what that means.
He had a lot of stuff on Obama. I'll tell you right now, it's kind of scary because the reports were that he died in the street, as far as I know it. That he died somewhere out in the street. He was having a hard time breathing or something like that. I don't know what the final report is. I mean, we'll figure it all out. And I'm sure they'll have to do a toxicology report as to why he could have had a heart attack. But what was the other thing? Oh, yeah, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, he's launched an investigation on Obama's birth certificate as well, saying it's completely faked. And why in God's name does Obama have a Connecticut Social Security number? And if you run that Social Security number through ID check system, it doesn't even come up.
It's amazing. Oh, I knew this was coming with this Andrew Breitbart thing. It just didn't seem right. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
No, because he's such a blogger and he's always complaining about stuff, and his blog apparently is controversial. And
yeah, he claimed he had so much stuff on Obama where now this is going to happen.
Oh crap! I thought there was audio.
Well, I mean. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'd love to see the stuff on Obama. Regardless of the fact, I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, I was a huge fan of Breitbart. His big Hollywood website was great. You know, he exposed a lot of the crap that you only get one side of when you hear the same old crap, so to speak, you know.
Yeah, well, everybody's saying Obama did it. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
America's
okay,
such an
Obama did it.
Yeah, he just rolled up and shot him. That's all he did.
I was surprised. How could they not blame Bush?
Do they say so? He apparently passed on the street.
Who? Andrew Breitbart?
Apparently, he passed away. He was not in his house. The initial report was at his house, and then what I recently just heard that he wasn't at home. He was walking. He was going for a walk or something of that nature.
Interesting. The story builds, my friends.
Yes, the story builds. I don't know. Again, time will tell. But there's a man who's no longer with us that surely did a lot of investigating. I would love to see some of the final paperwork. And again, he was good friends with Matt Drudge. I mean, him and Matt Drudge were real close.
Interesting.
So, if anything, I'm sure there'll be some.
This story will have. It might have a couple days of legs. I'm thinking. Couple days. We'll give it a couple days with this Andrew Breitbart thing.
Who knows?
Mark, 2 things we need to do. We need to get you on the radio doing a little something, and we need to have a Psycho Mark Twitter account. We didn't cover that. We need to get that going. Two things.
I got it going. I think I actually have a Psycho Mark. I think I signed it up. I have the name.
All right.
So.
Let us know. Post it in the chat room or text it to Ben so we know.
Oh, I will. But again, my mind will explode. I'll just type my mind exploding on Twitter.
Well, do something. I think the people will enjoy hearing your rants about the things that happened throughout the day. It's social network, Mark.
It will be entertaining. Eventually, it will be a daily occurrence, and they will be awarded that luxury in life.
Hey, Mark, you mentioned earlier Howie Carr. Is that what you're listening to on the radio these days? You're listening to Howie Carr?
I listen to Howie every now and then. Howie's pretty good. I listen to a lot of stuff, just to stay topical.
Yeah.
For who, though? See, that's why we got to get you on the radio, Mark. There we go.
For the guys at the bar.
Boys, I can't wait. I'm running down to Brookline Village right now so I can seagull on the first moonbat liberal I can find. Some old lady with a Whole Foods bag and a New York Times.
You know what? That sounds like a productive day, Mark. So you go ahead and do that. But thanks for the phone call, buddy. You did great today.
Okay, terrific.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
There's Psycho Mark, everybody, on Kieran McCann's Lunatic Radio. Yeah, good guy, dude.
Every time Mark is in the room, on the show, somebody comes in a room, anonymous hot chick.
Yeah.
What's it saying?
I love you, Mark.
I love you, Mark.
Yeah. Really?
And she wanted to go on a single cruise with him. Which is not the point of a single cruise, by the way.
Mark has fans.
He does.
Yeah, as soon as we started talking about space docking, she said, I'd let Psycho Mark do anything to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you really want to take one of his shits?
Oh, God. Do you have to go there again?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ben. I have a quota I have to fill with the disgusting people out there.
We're getting actually paid by space docking.
SpaceDocking.com, right? Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll take a break. Come back more Kieran McCann's Lunatic Radio right after this. Just coming down from Psycho Mark. Trying to gather my thoughts.
He sent me a text. He wants to know if we can get pictures of the anonymous hot chick that's in love with him.
Yeah, I have no idea. And I was asking around the room during the break, who's this anonymous hot chick in the chat room that loves Psycho Mark?
What is she? I'm not looking at the chat room. What is she writing?
Just that I love you, Mark. She wants to go on the ship with Mark. She let Mark do anything to her. She wrote some other stuff. I can't scroll back up, but... Yeah, I don't know who this anonymous girl. She only pops on when Mark is around. She's not like a fan of the show, I don't think. It's probably just some scumbag dude somewhere.
Could be.
Having fun with us, but you never know. It's getting Mark's hopes up, for sure.
He's very excited.
Number to call in, 646-233-4045. That's 646-233-4045. John from Behind the Counter's joining us.
Howdy.
Did you got a massage parlor or anything?
I did not.
No.
It's stricken from the records.
Is it
what a
like,
mistake that was. Bringing that on the air.
Really? Yeah. It was very interesting and enjoyable.
I mean, it was a good story. In retrospect, I wish I didn't tell the story.
Really? No, you don't want to? No.
No, I mean, it's done. It's
things happen though. Yeah. I don't think it's an odd thing though.
I don't think it's odd.
No, but Andrew thinks it's odd.
I think it's a little odd.
Not at all.
Yeah?
I know tons of guys that do it.
It's very rare. It's just like a treat every once
It's
in
like
a
a
while.
little treat. It's like going to the ice cream
Andrew's
shop.
a married man. I mean,
Yeah, but I never did it when I was single.
Yeah, but I really enjoy it.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, people are saying in the chat room it's probably Mark himself doing it.
Probably.
Everybody's on a thorough agreement that it's Mark himself. Taking the phone call on the radio and just tweeting in the chat room.
The sky's the limit.
Yeah, just talking to himself just to boost his ego up a little bit.
She's still in the room.
Yeah, she's still in there. She likes Mark.
It's direct message.
Should get her on the phone if she's actually real, but I guarantee you she's not. Getting a massage, getting a massage thing. That's not controversial, is it?
I don't think so.
Getting a massage thing is not weird.
No.
There's
weirder. There's much darker.
Hookers is more weird.
Yeah.
Than that. Hookers.
You think is an escort weirder than getting a handy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's stranger. That's more of an investment.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I like to invest in my creepy shit that I do.
You guys all been to Vegas? Everybody been to
Yeah.
Vegas? You sit at the bar in the casinos. It's unbelievable how many hookers approach you.
Yeah.
Blows my mind away.
Yeah.
Every 2 seconds, So you want to
Well, you go to any, like you go to like a Tao on a Friday night, and if you're sitting at the bar, a Tao, you're getting a bunch of strippers and escorts coming at you and trying to, get you to buy them shit.
Yeah, it's almost as commonplace as gambling out there with those strippers. I mean, you can actually pick them out in Vegas when you're just walking around the casinos. You can tell where they are and who they are, and it's amazing that I guess the cops really don't round them up out there.
It's crazy. I knew a friend that was out there for like 4 days, and he paid the girl to be with him the entire time. Took her shopping, everything.
Wow.
Just crazy. I mean, this guy's got plenty of money, but it's just a little bizarre.
I could never do that.
My first trip to Vegas, when I went out there, I was on the plane with my buddy Ron, and he turns to me, he goes, he's looking at me, and I should have taken this as an insult, but he goes, if any attractive girl comes up to you at a club, she's probably a hooker. And I was like, should have taken that as an insult originally, but I didn't. I was, self-hatred and all that stuff, so I was just like, oh, yeah, okay, that's probably a good point. So we're there in Vegas, and he, my buddy Ron just wants to do everything to the nines. He wants to go to the VIP. He wants to have the Grey Goose with the orange juice and the rope thing. He wants to have all that stuff.
What rope thing?
When you're in the VIP, they rope you off.
Oh.
So you're in like a little box and whatever. But so we're in this VIP place at the MGM, and I'm just getting wrecked. Everybody's drinking champagne. I'm drinking Coors Lights like I usually do. And these two broads are on the outside. And we're dancing. It's just like me and Ron. It's a completely gay thing going on. I'm dancing on a table because I'm wrecked. It's my first time in Vegas. And these two attractive girls are outside. And Ron's going, they're probably hookers, but we'll wave them in anyway, right? So he waves them in. And these two broads literally start nibbling on my ear. And they're asking me, can we, you want to go back to your hotel room?
The cannibals.
And they're like grabbing on me. I'm just a normal looking dude, and I'm just like, this is hookers. This is a hookers. And I turn to my buddy Ron. I'm like, this broad wants to bang me. And he turns to me. She goes, it's probably a hooker. But it turns out it wasn't.
Oh.
And in my drunken stupor, I turn to her. I go, no, I think you're a hooker.
No.
I said, I think you're a hooker.
I thought I had to pay you money to
Yeah.
me.
And she wasn't a hooker. And her friend was, into it too. I guess they were like playing with each other, so it was like a thing. And I was severely disappointed because
she was just hungry.
That was my second opportunity, maybe for a threesome that I'll turn down again. Did that once too.
Oh boy.
Over the threesome and turned it down.
Oh,
Dumb move.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Nervous?
Self-hatred.
Self-hatred. I don't want to have that
Too
much
much stress?
enjoyment. I guess
It's a lot of stress too. It's a lot of
too
lot
much to
worry
work
about.
with.
Yeah. It's tough enough just worrying about one chick.
Yeah.
2?
Vegas is great though, isn't it?
Crazy. I love Vegas.
I've been there in years.
You haven't
A
been
lot of fun.
You've been.
I haven't been there in like since, I don't know, 19, 20 years old. 10 years ago or so.
You ever been to Vegas there, Andrew?
No.
You've never been
No,
to
never
Vegas?
been
You've
to
never
Wow.
been to Vegas?
Never been to Vegas.
Vegas is great. Great restaurants, great nightclubs.
But you can only do it in like 3-day stints.
Yeah. You know what's
Anything
the
more than
worst
that.
is that flight home. You just want to kill yourself on the flight home.
Everybody's asleep on the flight home
Yeah.
from Vegas. Especially
has
if
to
you're
be
coming to the
brutal.
East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's asleep. It's like the drunk train coming out of
Yeah.
Penn Station, coming back to Long Island or to New Jersey. It's like the drunk train. Everybody's just passed out. Yeah, Vegas is awesome. But you can get into so much fucking trouble.
Yeah.
in Las Vegas because you have so much freedom. Like the hooker thing, you could literally go get a hook. It's like commonplace. People do it every day.
Yep. Well, the amount of literature you get with just advertising for them.
Yeah,
it's
that's everywhere.
Every 2 minutes, you're being handed a stack of papers telling you where you can get hookers. And there's hookers everywhere, too.
Right. The guys outside who are paid to hand out the flyers so you can go find the chick.
Massages and dates.
And then they have the magazines like in the newspaper type stand things.
Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere.
Oh, I fucking love Vegas.
Vegas is great.
I think I went there when they were just starting to reshape Vegas to what it is now. It was like the end of like old school Vegas and like the beginning of the MGM Grand and like Excalibur. So I haven't seen like the amusement park it is now.
Yeah. Well, that was Steve Wynn did all that.
Yeah.
That was his whole idea. Make it family friendly. I mean, you can go to Vegas and you don't need to gamble. There's so much to do between the plays and there's tons of stuff. I'm not a big gambler. I just like to go just to have fun.
But Vegas is like a 3-day thing, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very difficult to go for like a week to Vegas.
If you want to have a blast, like to the nines for 3 days, go to Vegas. Absolutely. It's my favorite place. I don't gamble at all. I've never gambled in my entire life, but Vegas is the place I love to go. Call, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you from?
No, I'm telling you to drop the audio. Because
Damn it.
we're having problems with Skype.
Oh.
But we're up and running now.
Sorry. Yeah, I love Vegas, man. Fucking brilliant place to go.
Everybody's saying this new Cosmopolitan Hotel is the one to check out. That one's brand new.
Is that in Vegas?
That's brand new, yeah. And that's where Marquee is.
Well, the Palm was the big one that opened up a couple of years ago, and everybody loved that place.
The Palm, then the Wynn, and Encore. But Palm is off the strip.
Off
like
the
the Hard
strip,
Rock
yeah.
is off the strip.
Anonymous, another hot chick. Anonymous hot chick? Is that her name?
Non-hot chick.
Yeah, she. We should go to Vegas and do a show from there. Of course.
Yep.
Bring Psycho Mark.
Very good idea.
Mark just reminded me of something. He reminded me of his last fan. I don't know if you guys remember at NEW. We set him up. We told him he had a big fan, and we tied him up and put him in a chair. And it was a transsexual, Mark, or it was a transvestite or whatever. Mark grabbed its nuts.
It's nuts.
We had it call in from outside. Like, I'm a big fan of Psycho Mark. Mark got all excited, so we tied him down to the chair. It's a pretty funny picture. I'm sure you can find it somewhere on the internet. And Mark, I think we had his whole, his eyes covered and everything, and he got to feel around, and then he went down below and felt junk.
Yeah, was Mark a part of that voyeur bus thing where you guys took the bus that was all full of glass around the you could see through the bus, right?
Yeah, I designed the route. I designed the whole route. I stayed back in the studio. Rick and Mark went on the bus with Lewis Black and Norton and a couple porn guys. And then they all got arrested. So.
And how was Mark in that situation?
He was great.
I imagine he
got
was out of his
excited
mind.
when he first got on the bus down by City Hall. He was groping all the women.
Yeah,
and he had to be calmed down for a little bit. But
for people that don't know, I mean, obviously it took place a long time ago. But the O&A show took a bus called the Voyeur Bus, which is all glass and it was full of naked chicks. Were they naked?
They were topless. You can be topless in New York City.
They were topless, and they literally took the thing straight down Broadway through Times Square and past TRL where Carson Daly was hosting, and they took it all the way down in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it was like 3:00 in the afternoon. It went down Broadway, through Union Square.
So why'd they get arrested?
Well, what happened is I had designed the route. Now, Mark got on downtown by City Hall. Now, we had CNN on the bus. CNN got off the bus there and went into City Hall and showed Giuliani the video.
Oh.
And there was also video of cops driving the car, snapping pictures. They had a police escort. So they were coming back up. They came around the World Trade Center, coming north on 6th Avenue. And Clinton happened to be in town. And they got into the presidential motorcade and they got pulled over at Bryant Park, which was like 40th Street. So the radio station was on 57th. So they were only 17 blocks from away, and they all got arrested for like 2 days, and it was a train wreck. They didn't.
They were in jail for 2 days.
Oh yeah, and a lot of those.
Who
guys,
was in there?
Jim Norton, Lewis Black, Mark, Rick.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it was awful. And Lewis
wasn't Clinton or somebody, whoever was in office, wasn't the president in town?
Yeah, he was
that
in
day?
town. They got into his in his route. So it was just a
with the Voyeur bus full of drunk people and naked chicks.
And the funny thing was Clinton probably would have loved it, but they got a lot of trouble and they were in jail, and that was a fun one. I had to call everybody's significant others and tell them, you're in jail. Mark's father, of course, when I called Mark's father, tell him, he's like, good, leave him in there. He should be in there,
That was single-handedly the best radio broadcast I've ever seen. I've ever heard in my life. I remember just sitting in my car driving down the Sunrise Highway here on Long Island, just going, "This is fucking incredible." And in Manhattan was flipped upside. Everybody in the world was tracking every hornball in the world was tracking this bus.
I vaguely remember this when it was on air.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and we got in a lot of trouble. I mean, it was
Yeah, but who cares? It was so much fun. It's like pulling a big fraternity prank on an entire city. You know what I mean? And the biggest city in the world. It was the greatest freaking thing ever. And that's where Mark pretty much came from. That's why
he pissed off Lewis Black so much. And this is back when Lewis and Norton smoked. So those guys couldn't smoke cigarettes the entire time. Lewis had a bunch of shows that he missed. And it was funny. I ran into Lewis, I don't know, a little while ago. And I go, hey, Mark says hi. He goes, fuck him. I never want to talk to that motherfucker again. He drove me fucking crazy. And I'll fucking how only Lewis Black can do it. He can't stand Mark. Mark, I guess, just drove him nuts. But I mean, they threw them into general population, which I can only imagine what that was like.
I'm sure people knew who they were. They're like, hey, Jim Norton.
This was before Jim was really that famous. I mean, Lewis wasn't. Lewis was on The Daily Show at the time. But I mean, both of those guys have blown up now. But, I mean, they had – their deal was that, a few of them would sleep at a time and then the other few would, stand guard because they were worried, they're going to get attacked or raped or whatever, So. Oh, yeah. A pretty funny one.
Fucking Vegas, man. Vegas and there were some great – I'm ashamed that radio's not like that anymore.
Radio sucks.
You can't do any more fun anymore.
No.
Andrew won't let me do fun here.
No fun.
No fun.
No fun.
He's no fun guy.
Radio's evolved.
He's come up in that era of radio where you can't be fun.
No.
No, I grew up in the same area of radio. I just don't want it on my my station. I want to make money.
Not my backyard.
I want to make money.
They made plenty of money when Ben worked for the big show.
Yeah,
we did all right.
They did very well.
It's different now. Janet Jackson had to show her nipple and changed everything.
Do you think that really ruined everything for everybody? The nipple thing?
No, I think it's a different society that we're in. I think you know what it is. Since we're on the internet, it's a different level of radio. I mean, if you're doing it on radio, then it's something shocking that it's on the radio. But every idiot with a microphone could scream anything they want into a mic on a show. I mean, and it gets really awful. Not a really big fan of that.
Why? It's fun. What if you have a good sense of humor? I don't understand why you're such a
because
fuddy-duddy.
most people don't. Most people don't have a good sense
According
of humor.
to you?
According to me.
See, it's a fuddy-duddy, dude.
I'm not. I just know what's good and what's not.
Finger on the pulse.
Fuddy-duddy.
I do.
Do you let John from Behind the Counter do anything fun on his radio show?
No.
No fun at all.
Very, very, very dry. It's very dry.
What do you talk about on the Behind the Counter?
Well, we at one point were very. I mean, this was the first on air stuff we've ever done. Rich had some experience in it, but we, especially me, I cursed a lot on the show, and I've definitely held back a bit. I think I'm a little bit more open on a segment like this as opposed to our comic book show.
He has fun on this show.
But it's a comic. It's not having fun. It's a comic book show. What are you gonna do?
We still do material. We still we still have personalities that we like to fuck around and make lots of crude jokes and shit. But we don't do it as much as we used to. We still have a good time. I can't say we've castrated ourselves.
No,
we're still fun. We're still fun.
You need to be marketable. When you're on the radio, you can do whatever you want.
Isn't shocking? And
no,
it's
not because you can get it everywhere. You get it everywhere now.
Ben, do you agree?
Nothing shocking anymore.
If there's a fun way to do it, be funny about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I see both sides of what you guys are saying. I can see both sides.
I gotta play the program director part of it too, and I gotta play the boss. So when I go to an advertiser, I'm like, hey, what do you want to advertise on Lunatic Radio? And they turn it on, and they go, well, I don't want our product affiliated with this.
Well, you did a very good analogy for me when we were talking about kind of pulling back on the language and the subject matter and stuff like that. And you said, like, listen, especially since we're on iTunes now, if you get labeled as an adults only show, you're going to be, kind of categorized with like the Joe Rogan show. I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want to be into that.
And Joe Rogan's a celebrity. I mean, if you look at any of these guys, right? And there's a lot of guys that go out there and they just do, O&A material. And I'm not saying O&A are not really raunchy. They don't do the shock jock stuff anymore. I mean, it's totally evolved. The business is totally different. But when you do that kind of content,
that type of humor though is considered shocking and something that you would consider probably not appealing to advertisers, which is not the case, right?
Yes, it is. It is the case. It's a different thing. But you're not catering to 3 million people every day. When you're catering to 3 million people, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Well, I'm just gonna do what I do. That's all I know how to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also we're so desensitized by it. It's the way that we speak. You know, a lot of our natural personalities come out
But
in this.
the broadcast we just explained with Ben back in the day with the voyeur bus, is that considered shocking or is that an event? That's a shocking event. And that was probably one of the highest rated shows.
I'll tell you, if I was working for CBS,
you'd be freaking out.
I know.
Day?
I would be if I was part of a radio program for CBS, I would be doing those kind of things.
That was a different age of radio, though.
Totally
You could
different.
do that.
Absolutely.
You could fuck up and get hired for more money.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another funny thing. When we went to satellite, we had a discussion that we were going to try not to swear just to swear. And the funniest thing was the first person on the air to actually swear was me, because I was explaining how we had this guy. We were, after the whole St. Patrick's Cathedral thing, we had some safety issues. We had some not so pleasant people that didn't like us. So when we went on XM.
And that's where O&A got fired. And all
right,
that.
we got fired. What happened was a couple had sex in St. Patrick's Cathedral on the radio.
Made national news.
And we got fired for that. And we actually got paid for a long time because we were all under contract. But after that, I mean, I remember I had to shut my cell phone off. Somehow my phone number got on the internet and I was getting calls from crazy hillbillies. So when we started XM, they built us like a security bunker. I mean, we had bulletproof glass. I mean, all sorts of stuff. And so getting back to about 45 minutes into the first show, I was imitating the guy that built it. He was from Belfast. He was, I'm from fucking Belfast, with his accent saying. So, but we tried to not, swear. That was a whole meeting about that. Try not to unless you have to.
Not the curse to just don't use the F-bomb as a comma.
Yeah, or an I mean, and I've always had that rule here where I think a lot of people have a bad habit of saying, fuck as an
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just makes you sound really dumb.
Yeah, we did that. We did that a lot of fucking. Was
Fucking.
yeah.
Coco used to do that a lot on the show, and then when I said, you can't do that, I pointed out he stopped doing it, and the conversation turned into a better conversation. It's just the same thing as But
isn't it just the way people talk, though?
No, you don't talk the way you talk on the radio. I don't think people want to hear the same conversation.
Talk the way I talk on the radio.
No, you hold. Well, now with me, you hold yourself back a little bit.
Yeah, it's because it's the morning. I don't feel like cursing so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But who's the one that dropped the C-bomb today, huh?
Yeah.
I did. But
who's
here's
the big
thing.
boy? Who's the big boy?
Listen, I'm not against it 100%. Just don't do it 20 times on a show. I counted one of your shows 15 times, C-bomb.
Yeah, but that was, part of the topic discussion.
You also went from C word to twat. Right after that. But it's in moderation. I think.
How often do you hear me say it? Now it was shocking because now everybody was like, "Oh my God, Andrew said the word."
No, it was the perfect word for that story in that line, that moment, that energy that you were creating. People were listening into the feedback in that first segment when you got angry. People like that emotion.
Yeah, sure, because it's real.
The C-bomb was warranted.
But here's the thing: a lot of people, and this is my big problem with internet radio and podcasting. This is my big gripe with this.
I love this.
Every idiot that was a Stern fan or an O&A fan or they were a whatever fan now thinks that they know radio. So they go out and they could just mimic what they had heard on the radio. Now, when Howard does something, Howard is a extremely intelligent guy. It's methodical. It's put into certain places. He knows how to tell a story. But now we have bred a whole group of idiots with any kind of microphone that go out there and they just do things just to be shocking with no genuine emotion behind it. They'll just say the word to say it. It's every goon with a microphone wants to do Howard Light. Mm-hmm. And that's my problem with a lot of the cursing, because then what happens, you get put in this category with a bunch of these idiots.
This is my new favorite bit, by the way, getting Andrew all worked up over nothing.
About nothing?
Because I'm just pushing a button. I don't really give a crap. I'm just pushing a button.
We had this conversation.
No, I understand.
We had this conversation the other day.
Every podcast that wants to be shocking or gain is called shit cock motherfucker.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's like
show.
You're listening to shit cock fuck radio.
I agree.
Well, fuck you.
That's
every podcast out there, and I don't. And I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? You're trying to attract viewers, and I'm looking at it as a business sense. That is the first thing somebody hears. If I hear that, and even if I like that kind of stuff, I'm like, oh, this is stupid. I mean, I just don't understand it.
Yeah. No,
I don't
no,
get it. I don't get the whole thing.
Well, that's the problem is a lot of people just fall on that as their personality. Like, I have to be crude, I have to be outrageous,
Yeah.
and that's it. And you have no personality beyond that. Just saying, fuck shit is not enough to keep someone's attention and keep people watching.
Yeah, like I'm not a fan of the word fag. Like I don't like saying it on the air.
But that's weird, though.
And I don't.
That's weird. That's an odd thing because some reason the F word. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I wouldn't call somebody that in a mean-spirited way.
Yeah.
But to just use the word in general, and not really directing it at somebody, or when you're telling a story about hey, Tommy was a faggot. He didn't want to play the game with me. I mean, using it in that way, I don't think that's bad.
It's not bad, but
now,
here's what has happened.
Nowadays, you can't even use it at all.
No, here's what's happened with that.
Without being labeled shocking. Or
Listen, we're growing up in New York. I mean, everybody calls everybody a fag. I mean, that's just how it is growing up. But there are a lot of people that do this, that do a podcast and do into a radio, and every other word is faggot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you overuse the word to that level,
right,
it becomes insulting. I listened to a podcast. God, what was it? Holy shit. This email came to me. They go, we want to be part of your show. And
network.
Yeah, they want to be part of the network. And I listened to it. It was these two guys, maybe early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And they were dropping the N-bomb. From the beginning of the show, they were saying faggot, they were saying nigger, they were saying every...
there's no talent.
Just everything. There was nothing. They were just insulting, and they were talking about, like, they were using it for non-gay people and non-black people. But it was the most insulting thing I had to listen. And I'm like, but they don't get it. Like, they don't see that. How is that a broadcast? You're just saying it to say it. You're not saying it to tell a story.
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't find words insulting. I find the way that you use it and the mishandle of the word is insulting to me. If you misuse the word, I know. Listen, I know you're not trying to be insulting, but if you overly use the word, that's misusing the word, and it becomes ridiculous, and there's no point to it anymore.
My point is, I think there's a way to be shocking in a funny manner. If you can do that, then yeah, you have something. But to be shocking, or just use the N-word, I think the N-word, that's one that I just can't handle.
Yeah.
When you say that, you should be,
one of these main guys uses it. Mike from Red Bar, he uses it all the time.
And he was on Sirius, and then
he was on Sirius, and then he wasn't on Sirius.
Yeah.
You know what? All the credit to him. I like Mike. He does a great show, but he does things just to be shocking.
You just sound like an idiot.
I will tell you one thing about Mel Karmazin. He does not tolerate that after working for Mel.
No,
but here's the thing. Where's your marketability?
I'll tell you one thing. There was certain things that were just, that you don't go for. You don't mess around with.
Howard could say it, though.
It's just like children. It's just like, when you talk about children and stuff on there, you've got to be very careful. Mark sent me a text. He writes, it's the execution of the bit. That's what makes shocking funny. He also said
execution of the bit. Yes, but again, here's the thing. A lot of people can't execute the bit.
No, then that's why they're doing podcasts and not on satellite.
And that's why they're not on satellite. But again...
And that's why they go from satellite back to a podcast.
O&A is an anomaly in this thing called radio. Howard Stern is this 1 in a million opportunity. These three guys were able to achieve something that most people can't. So why replicate what they're doing? Because the odds are you won't be able to do it.
Well, they're just the kids you're talking. They're the kids.
Listen, how many different fucking hats do I put on during the week? I do this show. I do my show. I'm on the comic show. I do a tech show. I do a straight edge, conservative style tech show with no shockingness to it.
His vagina's all cranky today. You can tell. Look at him. He's so
bad
mad.
Mood.
He's so mad.
It's like this. It looks like a lightning bolt.
Nothing's
So
working.
mad.
He's looking at his laptops. He's angry about the state of radio. He's not having fun.
So mad.
You should shave your hair on your chest, maybe.
No, why would I do that? Look at that. I got nice hair on my chest.
Dude, you're built like a guy from the 1970s.
Full mammal.
If I shaved my chest, what would you be saying to me right now?
Modern.
What would you be saying to me right
modern.
now?
You're a
I would be
Guido. You're a terrorist.
No.
What are you
You'd be
strapping a bomb to your chest?
Yeah. You'd be saying something else.
What, do you got a suicide bomb thing to attempt this afternoon? That's what I'd say.
If I shaved my chest?
Yeah, because you strap the dynamite to it. You don't want.
But I don't have hair on my sides. See that was.
Are you really gonna do
See,
that?
that was a perfect example of trying to be shocking
I wasn't
with a
being
poor
shocking.
execution.
I wasn't using the M-bomb or the F-bomb or the F-bomb.
Would you shave your chest before you strap dynamite to yourself since you can blow up anyway? It's not like you're going to be pulling the tape
Yeah,
off.
but you want to be comfortable going to
I
the
guess so.
location. You know,
I guess so.
it's all about comfortability. I hate commuting uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable right now.
Always comfortable.
I'm always
I
comfortable.
love that you're so angry.
Oh, I'm in such a shitty mood today. And I have like 10 more fucking hours of radio.
Yeah.
You gonna crank one out today? You should.
I don't have time.
Dude,
always
who doesn't
time.
have time?
I don't have time. I have a meeting. I have somebody coming here at 3:30.
Yes, John. He'll give you tips.
John is going to be here for a little bit.
Yeah.
I got to cut John a check, actually.
Yeah.
He's getting paid today.
So he's mad about that too.
John's getting paid.
John's getting paid.
We're the only people.
All right. I believe we have Mark from God and the Devil calling in, a band out of Austin, Texas. At some point, I don't know if he's got the time right, but we'll figure that out. Ben Sparks hanging out, and we'll do a break. We'll come back. More Kieran McCann's Lunatic Radio right after this.
Moonbats.
What up, everybody? LR Show. We came out like gangbusters today with Andrew's rant. I was just giving him a silent applause.
I'll do it again at 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, you get all mad. Word up, Ben Sparks in studio. John from behind the counter.
Holler.
6 p.m. on Friday nights, GFQ.
6:30.
6:30. I screwed it up. Sorry, John Boy.
Quite all right.
I like John, though. He's a good guy. He's growing on me.
Thank you, sir.
We're becoming friends.
Yes, we are. Similar tastes.
Oh, that goes so far. I don't know you too well. I don't know you that well, my friend. We will not be docking at any point.
I could smell it on you.
All right, why not? I'll give it a shot. Try anything once, right?
Exactly.
I'm not gay, but I'll learn.
Experience is the spice of life.
All right. Jesus Christ. Number to call in, 646-233-4045. The show at Lunatic Radio is the email address. Follow us on Twitter at Lunatic Radio and on Facebook, facebook.com/Lunatic Radio. Pretty good stuff. What we do is on the Facebook, we're going to be doing it starting this from time to time. And it was an idea Ben gave me. We'll be posting topics on there, things for you to answer,
Ben didn't
comment
give you that
on.
idea. I did.
No, well, Ben actually regurgitated it for me, and now I listen to him. So Ben gave me the idea, and Andrew gave me the idea, and it's a good thing to get people interacting with the show. So we'll be posting periodic topic discussions. You comment on them. We'll use some of the best comments for the radio program and start a discussion that way. Try to get people involved more with the daily show than we can with the weekly show. So that'll be another way to do that. And what else? Oh, if you know a local band out there looking to get some airplay, email me at Kieran@LunaticRadio.com with the name of the band, hopefully some tracks, so I can listen to them and see whether or not I can play them on the radio show. Some bands won't fit on this radio show, so if I don't get back to you or you don't hear your band on the show, don't be insulted because it's a certain type of style this radio show is, and sometimes it just won't fit, and I don't want to throw your band out there, and if it doesn't fit the style of the radio program, you'll get a lot of criticism. And
What kind of style doesn't fit?
Anything Andrew likes.
Andrew has good
Also
taste.
good music.
Good music.
Also good music.
I know.
Okay.
I can't imagine like some guy coming out who's like an R&B singer.
I don't like R&B.
I don't know if I don't know if I can throw that on the air. You know what I mean? Just for an example, or a girl who's like a pop star or something. It's not going to fit on this show. When I'm coming back and talking about my balls being cranky or something.
I was appreciating some of Andrew's music DVDs out there. That AC/DC one looks great.
It's a great DVD.
Yeah.
Great Blu-ray. I got it a couple years ago.
By the way, Ben Sparks is still looking for tickets to the Van Halen concert that's sold out tonight at Madison Square Garden, right?
Yes.
Ben, what you don't know is Van Halen is right here. No, they're not doing it. You're not getting tickets.
What?
No tickets for Ben Sparks. For
I'll
Van
wait
Halen
till
tonight?
StubHub gets cheaper during the day, and that's what you do. You wait till 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. Hopefully they get cheap. But I saw them. I want to go relive my youth a little bit. So.
Is that why you want to go? Remember?
remember the good old days, the 80s.
Weren't we all singing "Running with the Devil" before the show?
Yeah, we're singing
We are.
"Running with the Devil." Yeah,
I was arguing on the Monday night show that Sammy Hagar was a better lead vocalist
Oh
for
no, Van
And
Hagar.
Van Halen.
I liked both. I really liked both versions.
because I took the angle that David Lee Roth kind of kind of was like a showman and like a doo-wop dude. He was just like, because he would do Boozy Boozy Bop and all that stuff. And Hagar at least came in there and he held those, those hooks. He would scream. His tone was great. He was like more of a general. When you thought of a rock singer, he fit that mold more than.
But when you think of Van Halen, who do you think is the lead man?
David Lee Roth, because he was before Hagar. But if Hagar came before Roth, how would people look
Roth
at it?
has much more personality than Hagar.
But if what I'm saying, the question is, if Hagar became before Roth, would it be everybody going, oh, Hagar was the guy that made Van Halen?
And Andrew, I mean, 5150 and OU 812 were great records.
Great record. No, you're right.
Both of them were
You're
good.
right.
Good records.
And they were both great for the time that they were in the band, no? Right?
I liked both versions. I did. Remember when Gary Sharon replaced Hagar, and
Third time wasn't a charm.
at NEW we did a Van Halen weekend when it was the Van Halen 3, and I'd never seen so many not picked up tickets to the Garden Show or then when they came back to Jones Beach. So I took all the unused tickets. So I literally had about 40 tickets. A few of my buddies, we drove out to Jones Beach, and Jones Beach doesn't sell beer. So we'd go in, watch a song, we'd walk out, have some beers in the parking lot, and the people would be like, you can't come back in. I'd be like, look at how many tickets I got. So we went in and out of the show like 6 or 7 times. And I mean, it was still great to hear Eddie Van Halen play guitar. But yeah, I'd never seen unpicked up tickets at the radio station ever. And that's another funny thing about radio stations. We had contest whores. There were people that would try and win all the time. Had fake IDs to try and win under different names. Blew my mind away.
I think I'm going to start using the radio angle with broads.
By the way, we have Mark on the line.
Mark from God and the Devil on the radio program, band from Texas. Mark, how are you?
You got to pot him up.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
Well, we're gearing up for South by Southwest, the big film, fashion, and music festival here in Austin. Wanted to call in and fill you guys in on some of our goings-on around that time of the year.
What are you and what is the band doing with South by Southwest, sir?
Oh, we're playing a lot of shows. We've got, pretty much the whole week. We're going to be out seeing great bands and playing with great bands. We're playing, pretty much back to back to back throughout the week, and there are several days where we're playing several shows at a time. So we're going to be staying busy during that wonderful time of the year here in Austin.
Now, what is the vibe? I've heard a lot about South by Southwest. I've had relatives that played in gigs there and stuff, and I've seen it covered with a lot of different media outlets. What is the vibe down there? Is the whole town just turned into one big music festival?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's you can't get around. It's packed. There's stars on the street, people just everywhere from all over the world. It's a really interesting experience, and it's really good for our city and for bands and musicians and everyone around here and the whole economy. So it's a really exciting time of the year for us.
And it's a great way for bands that are just up and coming and stuff to get notoriety, right?
Right, exactly. It's great for exposure, great for sales, great for meeting people in the industry, producers, executives, other bands. It's just a really, really fun thing to be a part of.
Is it now Austin? I hear great things about Austin, Texas.
Austin is a phenomenal
city. Yeah, you
city.
can ask Ben. Ben's been here. Yeah,
it's a great city, man.
Party. Yeah,
it's a great city, and you don't feel like you're in Texas. But I mean, if you're into music, man, we went to a club one night and we saw like a hip hop band, we saw like a blues band, a rock band, all in the same venue. It's just there's one street. What's it? 6th Street, Mark?
6th Street, yeah, Congress. There's a lot of little areas that are great for live music.
I think Kieran, you would love this city.
Yeah,
right.
Food's great. It's so cheap.
Make it down for a South by Southwest.
Who's
Bring
the
Lunatic Radio show down?
Yeah, who's the headliner this year? I know Springsteen's a part of South by Southwest.
Yeah, Springsteen is he's the, what do they call him? He's like the main speaker. He's going to put on a conference and a keynote speaker. That's what they call it. Yeah. And so he's going to be here. There's going to be, every band you can imagine is going to be making an appearance. And it's going to be a really big deal. Last year they had Yoko Ono. So this year Springsteen's a step up from Yoko.
Your cousin's performing this year, right?
Yeah, my cousin's band, We Are Augustines, is coming back from Europe, and they'll be going to South by Southwest.
Cool, those guys are cool. Yeah, I saw they were on your show the other night. They're maybe about a week ago or something like that. They're a really cool band, so we'll look out for them.
Yeah, they'll be down there somewhere. So South by Southwest, when it takes place, it's pretty much, is it every bar in the town that kind of has a gig going on, or is it one just huge venue where everybody goes to?
It's every bar. There are parking lots with stages up and, restaurants. Everything is live music oriented. You can't get away from it. And there's so many talented acts it's extremely exciting. It's a great way to get exposure. Like I said, if you're a young band out there trying to get some notoriety.
Now, what will you and the guys from God and the Devil be doing? The start of the event. What will you guys be doing? Where can people locate you?
Oh yeah, we'll be at Nomad Bar on the what's that, in the 15th or the 16th, which is Friday. We'll also be at Upper Decks on the 15th, which is Thursday. We're playing a great show there, which is put on by a record label I'm working for, Pete on Mega Productions. And then we'll be where else are we going to be? Townhouse Bar. There's a lot of bars there down off 6th Street or 5th Street, so it's right there in the heart of the action. So we'll be all over the place. We'll be out busking. We'll be out, shaking hands and kissing babies, doing the whole thing.
Pressing the flesh.
God.
Yeah, pressing the flesh. That's right.
I would assume it's hard to get a hotel room there for that because there's not a lot of hotels.
You got to book it ahead of time. It's packed. You got to know somebody, or find somebody that's got a house and stay with them. So
I'm kind of
a lot of people rent out their houses during the week, so they can make some cash and go sleep at a friend's or something like that.
I'm so jealous. Like now, like you see my cousin's band be successful and play events like South by Southwest, and then listen to Mark here, and I'm just like, man, I wish I was in a fucking band when I was younger. I wish I had the talent. You know what I mean?
The best part about Mark and the band, they all live together, which I can only imagine what that's like. You guys all live in the same house, right, Mark?
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy around here. Like I said, last time we were on the show, we were doing a tour there, and some of these guys were swimming in pussy, so it's always a good time.
See, I can't ever say that as a radio host. I never swim in pussy. I see it from time to time.
Dive right in, man. Dive right in. So.
Yeah, I gotta imagine. And plus, all those girls down there in Texas are just so beautiful. It's in a great city. It's a great event. So South by Southwest has got to be one of the better events, music festivals to go to in this country.
Austin's just a great city in general. It's right in my top few cities in the country.
You probably can't hold something like South by Southwest in a town somewhere in America without it turning to a clusterfuck.
No, they know how to do it down there. People are so nice. It's just a great city.
How's the band doing? How's the vibe with the band?
We're going well. Here, I'm gonna put my drummer Patrick here. He wants to talk to you guys.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Patrick. I'm the drummer.
Hey, Patrick, you're the drummer. You're the guy that sits behind everybody.
That's right. I'm the legs of the operation.
That's what you call yourself, huh?
That's right. Yeah, man. Things are going really well for us. We kicked off our new year by already recording a new track that we should have soon, and we're working on a new EP. Hopefully, have that done by the summer, I guess.
Are you guys hating each other at this point, or are you still in love with each other?
Yeah, we do, but we know how to get along, so that's what's important.
And all you guys single?
No, we're not actually. Mark has a girlfriend.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, my friend. Come on. Mark will look at himself in about 5-6 years and go, "Why was I single during those years? Why was I single? Why wasn't I single?" God.
Well. Hey man, hindsight is 20/20. So
yeah, I know. Don't I know that one?
But yeah, man, it's going well. So we got a lot going for us this year, and we're getting a lot of good booking right now, and just trying to play more shows and just get out there, really, and have fun too while we're doing it. That's really the important part.
Absolutely. So when is the South by Southwest? What are the dates on that? I don't even know.
It's in 2 weeks. So it starts. The music part is for the second half of that week. So, but it really starts on like March 12th, 9th. That whole weekend starts. It's during spring break.
Oh boy,
perfect time.
Yeah, that's that for the icing.
So if all the college kids out there listening to this radio program and you're looking for a place, don't go to fucking Cancun.
Nope.
Don't go to goddamn Florida. Florida stinks. Andrew hates Florida anyway.
Hate Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The nation's dong is what Florida is.
Yeah, go to South by Southwest, man. Just find
That's right.
Find the best Western in a town just close to Austin, because you're probably not getting into Austin at this point.
That's right. Well, who needs a beach when you can swim in pussy?
Yeah, right. Who needs a beach? Listen to these guys. They know. God and the devil know. Swimming in pussy is better than a beach.
That's right, man. That's what we're here for.
Plus, the Gulf is still caked in oil, so why even go anywhere near Mexico?
Exactly.
Or
Yeah,
Florida?
the Gulf sucks, man.
Yeah, just
Here's some live music.
That's right.
Live music, good vibes, beer, probably some marijuana. I don't know.
Maybe.
And
good food, man. Good barbecue.
You get to listen to Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
See God with the Devil. We Are Augustine's. Gotta give him a plug because he's my cousin. So, I think it's a good event. It starts on the 12th or the 9th that weekend. The first week is just festivities, and the second week it's all music, and God and the Devil will be there, and it'll be a great time for all. So get to Austin, Texas, everybody, in middle of March.
Yeah, you know it. Hey, we want to pass the mic here. We got our lead guitarist Andres here for you.
Andres.
Yeah, what's up, homie?
Are you one of the single ones?
Yeah.
I am one of the single ones. Damn straight, my friend.
Yeah.
With a name like this is the guy that gets all the pussy.
Yeah,
This is the guy.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, man.
How are you,
Hey, so-
sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Fucking hanging out. I wanted to tell you guys, man. I got a spot on a National Guitar Center TV, man, and God and the Devil has been promoted. We're gonna be in the nationwide Guitar Center commercial, so you guys keep an eye out for it.
All right.
Oh, yeah, we'll be looking out for that. Yeah. I mean,
Hell yeah.
that's got to be a big thing for the band, a nice little hit.
That's huge.
Hell yeah. It's gonna bring in a lot of traffic over at check us out at godandthedevilmusic.com.
God
We're
and
gonna
the
have the video, we're gonna have everything.
GodandTheDevilMusic.com, people. You know it. And we've been playing tracks on the broadcast here, the daily broadcast, so I think people are getting familiar with the God and the Devil music. It's a cool little vibe, man. I'm not admitting to smoking trees, but I would, and listen to some God and the Devil. I certainly would do that. It's a good time. I suggest people do that.
I plead the fifth.
All right, fellas. Good luck with South by Southwest. You're always
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
I like you guys because they're very positive. These dudes.
Yeah, they're fun, man.
They're not beaten down by life. Plus, they're swimming in pussy. So
It's always
Hey,
nice.
man.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah. All right, fellas. Have a good day.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, there they go. God and the Devil, everybody. Mark, Andreas, Patrick was the other guy.
Patrick, yeah.
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 I didn't speak to the bassist. He never gets any play.
Is that like the worst? You know what? I mean, the lead singer is the guy that usually gets most of the action. Right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
about
The
bands.
drummer, the guitarist, the bassist is the last.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, the lead singers are always the guys that can just continue
Rock's a
on.
bassist.
Yeah, Rock's
Coco's
a
a
bassist.
bassist.
The bassists are always the. They always want to be in the spotlight.
Unless
though,
you're
I think.
Sting. Sting, I'm sure, did well before he got married.
Sting's the only bassist that actually people remember.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And Van Halen, by the way, we were talking to them before we spoke to God with the Devil there. Van Halen is probably one of the few that have had two lead singers that have been truly successful.
Yeah. That's a good
band.
question, yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has done that.
They continue to be. I mean, they sold out arenas. Those albums with Sammy sold a lot. So.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. I think we had a good show today.
Not a bad show.
What do you think, John, from the Behind the Counter?
I thought it was wonderful.
You ever going to come out from Behind the Counter?
Never.
That was
He's
just a
always
hacky
behind it.
joke. We're taking your calls on the 10s traffic, everybody. Here we go. Yeah.
Hit that horn.
I think we had a good show today. I hope you people enjoyed it, man. I loved having Ben Sparks. Thank you to Ben Sparks.
Thank you.
Coming down. Psycho Mark did a great job today.
He's still asking me if we can track down this anonymous hot chick.
I don't know
I
who
got
this-
about 20 texts from him.
She's keeping quiet.
Yeah, she's quiet now, but she
was talking before.
She's a big fan of Boston, so I think she's in the Boston area.
Mark will try and track down the IP address and show up.
Mark, all Mark needs to do to track this broad down is look in a mirror.
Hey,
because it is Mark. I know it's Mark.
You really think so, huh?
Well, she's from Boston.
I don't. You know, here's the thing. I don't. Mark isn't the best with computers, so I don't know if he could figure out how to get in the chat room. I swear to God. But maybe I'm wrong.
And rename his handle.
Yeah. So, what is she commenting again, or is she?
It's not Mark.
No, it's not Mark.
It's not Mark.
Well, yeah. Well, the person just said it's not Mark. Your Honor, I have evidence. It's not Mark.
It's not Mark.
It's Mark. I'm telling you, it's Mark.
Mark's funny.
Anybody interested in Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver possibly getting back together? Anybody interested in that? Any comments on that before we wrap this fucker up? Nothing. Thank you. Perfect. Way to close out the show.
Shulayla.
All right. Thank you to everybody for checking out Kieran McCann's Lunatic Radio. We're on the Twitter, Facebook. Go find us. Behind the Counter. 6:30s on Fridays on the GFQ network.
Me and Rich Dembolian.
At Andrew Zarian.
Yes,
is
sir.
Andrew Zarian's Twitter handle at Psycho.
I'll be angry
Spark.
all day.
He'll be angry all day. Missed the cranky pants today. But he has the reason to be cranky.
Sorry.
Send me those emails, Kieran at lunaticradio.com if you want to get some airplay. All right, folks? I'll take a listen. Send me some tracks. Just go, hey, I know this band from Ohio. You should check them out. Don't do that email because I will just delete it. Gotta have some common sense when you write emails, people. All right, thank you to everybody for tuning into the radio program today. I think it was good. That's what Jim Rome does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he crumples up the paper.
See, I'm playing Jim Rome right now on the radio. That's what Jim Rome does.